Red.
Welcome back to Redacted Party Chat. This is Case 9. Post VGAs, post disappointment, but we'll get into that with the first topic. Before we jump into what we've been playing, kind of want to do a couple shout outs. Thanks everyone that showed up to the stream. That was a lot of fun, more engagement than we anticipated. So we hope to do more of those in the future.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, not to cut you off, Vaughn. Thanks, guys. By all means, send recommendations for any kind of stream that you would like. I kind of like these guys, so I would like any excuse to kind of just hang out and do that.
I also want to do a quick shout out to my little cousin Kevin in West Virginia. He subscribed and shouted us out to a few of his friends, and he said he has a buddy that I guess works in the hospital and is doing like 12-hour shifts and was listening to us. So shout out to you, man. That's awesome. You're doing the Lord's work out there.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, seriously.
And last shout out is to my friend Clark. Gave us some new music that we're going to be utilizing more often.
Oh yeah,
pretty slick stuff. So, the GOAT.
Clark, if you're listening to this, you're the GOAT. You are the GOAT.
Fire. But let's jump right into what we've been playing. I will start with Brandyn.
Mostly, vast majority of it's been Path of Exile 2. The werewolf is out. So,
furry?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I never really thought about it. And I'm like, I was at work too, and I read that, like, I'm gonna ignore that text. There may be too much evidence. This sucks. I like werewolves a lot.
I'm just going to look up werewolf in the iPhone. You can look it up. It'll just populate with every time werewolf is said. I promise it's been Brandyn for like the last fucking 2 years straight.
Count how many furry gifs are in your history.
Dude, the werewolf with the cowboy hat was diabolical. The fact that I found that, I'm like, yes.
Oh, no.
But yeah, Path of Exile is... I don't want to fully jump the gun here, but I think that might be in the top 3 to 5 RPGs I've ever played. That game is incredible. And it's not even just the werewolf stuff. It's just the depth and variety of the builds is truly limitless. I don't think I can, even for the most part, games will you pick a class and you're kind of forced to be within, I use a bow, so I have to have bows, or I have to have swords. Dude, I'm technically a mercenary who uses crossbows, but I'm turning into a werewolf, which would be a druid, and then using, really whatever I want off the cuff. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say the Path of Exile. I don't think anybody would really challenge you on that. Just in terms of just its status as one of the all-time greatest RPG series, and I think it does a really good job of it. Has something for everyone in the sense that if I wanted to be simple, I can be simple.
Yes.
Because it is daunting. It can be daunting when you get in there. But it's like if you wanted to remain relatively simple, have a simple play style, you can. But like if you're playing Path of Exile 9 times out of 10, you played Path of Exile 1. And if you played Path of Exile 1, you're a hardcore fan. And it's like it gives you that level of customization where I don't hear anybody complaining, not the hardcore, not the newcomers, not anybody. So all the other beautiful things about it aside, just art direction, design, and all that kind of stuff, that aside, but just in general in terms of what it has to offer, I haven't seen anything like it. I haven't seen anything like it since Path of Exile 1.
Dude, so I actually didn't even know about Path of Exile 1. I kind of just got hip when 2 was coming out, and it's just good Diablo is the best way I can put it. It's good Diablo. Like, I tried Diablo. It's cool. I mean, it's not really for me. I'm not really into the, okay, here's my moves, and I know hold F down until that's done to hold E down until that's done. And then, you're kind of just looping. Like, I zoned out 50 times a fight playing Diablo. Whereas Path of Exile is kind of Souls-like in that you have to... I'm just kidding. You have to dodge and block and do the things you need to do. Like in an act, it's active. And just the graphics are incredible. Like you were saying, the art design, like some of those creature designs, dude. Anybody look up the Triceratops in Path of Exile 2. I guess it's a Triceratops. I don't know. That thing is demonic. But yeah, man, like even to further your point about being simple with it, like I'm not being real crazy. I'm a werewolf. I'm actually Van Helsing. So I have machine gun crossbow and I turn into a werewolf. And my entire build is basically set around my bleed will proc the crits and my crit will proc the bleed. And then I have speed going. So it's just a numbers game of every time I hit you, there is such a high chance I'm going to make you bleed, which is going to cause crit, or a crit that's going to cause bleed, which will cause crit, and it'll never stop. Simple. Locked in right there. Done. My character will probably be broken here in about 10 levels.
Oh, yeah. That's like, I remember one of the first times I ever played it, I was at my buddy Mikey's house, hungover, and he's like, "You want to play Path of Exile?" I'm like, "I've heard it," because everybody was talking about it the night before. All the nerds, they're all like, "Path of Exile, Path of Exile, Path of Exile." Dude, he played, it was like auto playing with itself, which is fine, but it's like, you can reach a point in that game where you are a blender. He said, just press these keys. They occasionally press this key. He's like,
yeah, it totally, and even with Path of Exile 2, which to be fair, I haven't gotten to endgame just yet. And I know that gets brutally difficult. So like Jordan was telling me, he'll run into meta players that are just obliterating everything. And it probably is to that degree where you're just like the dragon, just blowing fire and killing everything on screen. And you could do that. I would personally never in a million years ever do that. That just doesn't seem fun to me. But that's just me personally. Because what that game does so well is combos. It actively has combos where, for example, my archer, I would hit you with like a electric rod and then set electric rods all around the area. The mob would come in. I would do a flip over top and freeze everybody. And then I'd shoot essentially the other rod that's going to spark the electricity. And it connects everybody that's in that circle while they're frozen. And because the ice is considered water, it doubles the damage.
Ooh, okay.
And then on top of that, I had gear that every hit I landed gave me 8 health back. So I was invincible. I'm just getting my health right back. Couldn't be touched. So the game, it's just so cool, man. Like, I'm Van Helsing, and then I have another character that I'm slowly but surely turning into a Balrog. Come on. Like,
where else can you even make that statement?
That's what I'm saying. Jordan, his character, you guys might know this because I'm not as familiar with animes, but he said his character is Gojo.
Oh no.
Is it like where
Setero Gojo where they can't touch him?
Yeah, so like literally when we're playing together, if they're within like a pretty decent distance, they just immediately slow down.
Yep.
They're just, and Jordan's just melting everybody. Super cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it's awesome though. But the vast majority of what I've been playing is that. I do want to hop over to Path of Titans, Path of Exile, Path of Titans. They put a new map in there that, because it's real quick. The other 2 Path of Titans maps have been a giant forest, which is just really big, too big, realistically. And then the other one is kind of like, it's forest, and then it's also like islands to a degree. But there's always such a huge separation between the ocean dinosaurs like the ocean players and the land players. So they're never really interacting. So people are never the ocean dinosaurs. And then with this new map, they've made it a lot smaller, thank God. And they've made it more vertical to where rivers are now running through the forest. And then the mountains are within the forest. So the pterodactyls are attacking the forest animals, and the forest animals are trying to get through. And they added a Tylosaurus who can now just jump out of those rivers and pull people in. So it's like, I've seen some pretty cool gameplay coming out of that, and people seem to be loving it. So I'm pretty excited to get to that at some point.
I get the essence of that game, is dinosaur realism survival. I am surprised that they haven't done anything like, it doesn't have to be like an official crossover, but I'm surprised they haven't done anything like a Jurassic Park Dino Crisis-esque reclaimed by the, well, not even humans, just like a city reclaimed by the land, or like a facility reclaimed by the land type of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I get it that it's supposed to be like your dinosaurs living in dinosaur land. Humans aren't a thing, but it just seems like it would be an easy kind of like, I think people would like that, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I think I think the reason they don't do that is because there's that other game called The Isle, which does do basically that. It is essentially like a lost world, like a destroyed science lab. You're the dinosaurs, and then there are, I think it's a mod where you can play as the human. But yeah, no, for sure. I get what you're saying. I think it'd be so sick if they had.
It just seems to be easy slam dunk, but I mean, it's all free, so I mean, it might pull in a couple new players, but at the same time, it's like I'm always big on keeping your current player base stimulated and satisfied. So that would, I feel like that would be a nice little shake up.
Yeah, for sure. And then yeah, because it's primarily been Path of Exile. But I did earlier today got probably the first hour and a half in of Baldur's Gate 3. And
yes.
I've never played, so it's considered a CRPG. What does the C stand for? Anybody know?
CRPG.
That's what I keep seeing online. It's a CRPG. Don't know what that means. So I don't really have too many opinions. More so, I have questions. Adrian, I know you had played a good amount of it, but
it's just it just says computer role playing game.
Sweet.
It's literally it's just RPG. They just added fucking computer to it. It's so stupid. Okay.
Yeah. That game is real high quality. It is. You can absolutely feel the passion bleeding off the main menu. And just even within that first little tutorial, I could feel that I just made so many choices that no one else is going to do. So like I ended up going with it's called the Dark Urge is the character I went with. And I made him a human, but I made him a paladin who is effectively out for revenge against anybody who's committing evil in the land. So I'm basically just the Punisher is who I'm going for, like an Eldritch Knight Punisher. So like you start on that ship and there's like a dude and his brain is exposed and you can hear like a little voice like, help me. And I walk over, and because I've perked out into like arcane knowledge a little bit, my guy realized like, that's an alien talking to me. So instead of trying to help him, I just squeezed the dude's brain and just killed him. Like, I ain't got time for this, dude. Like, but even that, it's like if I hadn't had that arcane knowledge, who knows what that, and it might not even be anything that deep, but it might have turned into like try to help them and blah, 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 or whatever. But just to move it along, the questions I have is, you were saying that you're on runs. Isn't this game really long?
Yes.
That's crazy.
The game. Crazy. Listen, I've said this before, and as someone that has thoroughly enjoys Dungeons and Dragons, that game is incredibly close. I won't say it's 1-to-1, so nobody that's a bigger Dungeons and Dragon person don't bite my head off, but I think it gives you the closest thing that you are going to get to a experience of playing Dungeons and Dragons, outside of playing Dungeons and Dragons. I cannot stress enough the amount of, and it's like you said, it's like the choices you make, the things you do, the things you miss. There's so much stuff that it's like it gives you, because in a, the whole purpose of a Dungeons and Dragons campaign is like essentially freestyle creativity and imagination. So like your dungeon master is, you can do, you essentially, the job of a dungeon master is so difficult because it's like he's supposed to be able to handle me if I say something crazy. Like if I come up with some crazy idea as a dungeon master, it's your job essentially to make it work, as long as it works within the context of what we're doing. It's like I remember when Vaughn played, like we played Dungeons and Dragons, and it's like I was a giant lizard man. Well, I was a lizard man, and it's like Vaughn, I remember we were like attacking some pirates. We were rescuing some people from pirates. Vaughn levitated me up in the air and then hit me with a spell to make me grow twice my size. So I pretty much Godzilla body slammed a boat and destroyed it. And then proceeded to, and as part of being a lizard man is your swim speed. So pretty much I was just Godzilla in the water now. I smashed one of their ships and then proceeded to torment them by making the water unsafe while the rest of the team boarded and helped out like the kidnap victims, which it's like, yeah, well, and that's the thing. It's like Baldur's Gate can't do all that for you, but there is tons you can do. As I was saying to you kind of before everything kicked off, it's like me and Matt straight up pieced up a couple, like there's a couple like bad guys, like, boss-esque bad guys. And it's like, they were kind of just talking shit and we had no clue that they were going to be affiliated with a later storyline. It's like, I know you're not talking to me like that. And it's like, cause we were chaotic good, more or less. So it's like, I know you're a bad guy. And it's like a lawful good character. It's like, I need a reason. Like a chaotic good, it's like, hey, I just ran into clearly a bad guy in a tavern. I might as well just whoop his ass while we're here. And then, like, as we would go on playing the game, it's like it changed stuff because it was like, oh, have you seen so and so? No, I haven't seen him around at all. Well, where is he? It's like,
That's cool, man.
dude's
That is so cool.
That dude's in a hole somewhere. Actually, I'm wearing his boots.
And then another question I had. So, if you were to join in on my campaign now, that character would stay with me? Like, how does that work? Are you just taking one of my party members?
Essentially, what will happen is me and and here's the thing, I never saved anything. I never tried it. I might be able to save I'm pretty sure we can all independently save. So it's like we would make a party and get together, and it's like I would have your character as one of my party members. So if you were to play the game without me, you would have my character, and you would be in control of him. So
Okay.
So like, yeah, when we would play, we did a 2-man run. All our runs are 2-man. We would get everybody or rescue all the people that we could, and then tell them to go fuck off back to camp while me and him were just the homies running wild in the wilderness. So yeah, so pretty much it's like it's easier that way though. It's like you have the save file. You're not gonna play without your party. It's like playing Dungeons and Dragons by yourself, and then everybody comes back 2 weeks later, and you've been playing for 2 weeks alone, and you're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, your
all
character
this has happened."
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't do that. That doesn't make any sense.
So ideally, I would have my campaign going with my Eldritch Knight, and then a second campaign going. That would be the 3 of us.
Correct.
And then we would hop in on that.
And that's what I did. That
sounds fun.
I technically have 3.
Really
the first run's done, so it's like I have 2 open right now. There's one where me and Stretch are playing, and I'm like a monk, and then I have a separate one which is also playing a monk, but I pretty much put that one on the back burner because it's like it's way more fun to play with your friends. It's a fun game by all means. Like you play by yourself, but it's like, and that's another thing. It's like we lost a lot of storylines because I didn't get like we were resolving their storylines, but they weren't there to participate, so we didn't get any of that context. And then somehow I like accidentally stumbled ass backwards, no pun intended, into every gay romance like proposition. And what bothered me the most about that is it's like I didn't care, but it was the fact that they were divas. So it was like every time they're like, "Yo, you want some fuck?" I'm like, "No, let's keep this professional. We're trying to save the world here." And they're like, I don't know if I can handle this. And then they would leave the party. Like every time they would leave the party. I'm like, dude, I respectfully said no.
That's funny. I would probably be the same way because in Horizon they give you the option for people to flirt with her and stuff, and I'm just like, hey man, there's bigger things to like. There's bigger fish to fry. I ain't got time to be cuddling and shit.
And
it's
that's,
like
that's the other thing where I think it's a good intro to D&D because like the campaign we're playing now, the first campaign we played, it was like, essentially we were playing as ourselves. And it's like the second one, we really got into the role playing aspect of it. So it's like we're making decisions that obviously I wouldn't make in my real life because he's playing the Dark Urge, but he's fucking evil. Stretch is like super duper evil. And he's just like doing
like super duper.
He's like doing super diabolical shit at every turn that he gets. And yeah, he's like doing super diabolical shit, but I haven't told him yet. Which if he watches this, then he'll know, but I don't think he cares anyway because we're just gonna stick to it. My monk, because I've just kind of been like going with the flow and everything, and I think because I picked a monk, he's assuming that I'm just like lawful or lawful good or whatever. But really, my monk is I'm playing pure neutral, and it's my whole thing is I am playing a monk of balance, and my thing is the only way balance can be achieved is if everybody's dead. So he's killing all the good guys, but what I'm doing is I'm power leveling, and I'm gonna go back and kill everyone else. I don't, and that's like his thing. He thought I was a good guy because I'm not stopping him from killing. Well, he thought I was like just like a sitting around because I wasn't stopping him. Like he thought I was complicit.
Wow.
It's like I'm not complicit in what you're doing. It's just you're doing half the work for me, and I'm going to come back and clean up shop when all the rest is done. So it's gonna be like, where are you at right now? And it's like I went back to because you can travel independently. You don't have to be with each other. You can completely travel independently. So he's like, what are you doing? I'm like,
that was what I was going to ask. If we were tethered.
Yeah, you're not tethered. It's like, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm just back at the base. Meanwhile, I'm just like, it's for balance. It's for balance.
Two things. One, Vaughn, are you interested in Baldur's Gate at all? Or is that kind of too much?
I'm not interested in playing it. I enjoy hearing the stories about it, but it falls in the same line as Mass Effect for me, where I'm just overwhelmed by the amount of choices that could result from my picks. So I've never invested a lot of time outside of hearing people talk about the story.
Crazy thing with that, though, just as a side note, like I never had that problem before, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Like when I was a kid and I played Mass Effect, didn't bother me at all. I was just making choices, just doing it. But now, as it's just one of those things, it's like I was pure back then. So it's like I'm playing a game. It's like now as an adult, I'm like, ugh, what if this decision makes this happen, and it makes this happen, and it makes this happen? It's like, damn, did I lose some of the essence of what I'm doing here? But I just think it's funny that you say that because I have the same like kind of gut feeling about games like Mass Effect now. But Baldur's Gate is an exception in a sense because it's like I genuinely believe that game has borderline infinite replayability.
Oh, it feels like
There's
even within the first hour.
You can fuck like, and it's like you bring it up like all the decisions you make. It's like, dude, you don't even know the decisions you're not making. There's shit like being able to talk to animals and befriending an animal by giving it a treat. And later on down the road, that animal opens a door from the other side that you couldn't. It's like you probably, you could have missed 3 of those fucking opportunities already, just because you didn't have those abilities. So that's where it's like the replayability. It's like how would a ranger approach this that talked to animals? Because he wouldn't try to bust down the front door. And that's one of those games I know you do your thing, but it's like I absolutely don't think playing on the hardest difficulty is the move. Because me and Stretch talked about that, or like the higher difficulties. That game is one of those games where it's like you can pick a class, but depending on the difficulty, you might find yourself forced to play like a meta build because it's on those higher difficulties.
Oh yeah, I considered putting it on story, honestly. But I ended up going on balanced just to...
Yeah, balance is how I recommend playing the game.
Yeah.
Balance is absolutely how I
Because
recommend
I've never
playing.
played a game like that. I was like, I'm not trying to torture myself, and I suck at tactics games, so I was just like, yeah, let me just...
Yeah.
And go ahead.
That game doesn't really start much like D&D campaigns. Like it does, but that game really gets into itself level 5, level 6. Once you get like multiple attacks and you start getting the better abilities, that's just how D&D is as well. You know, it is you're scraping by and things feel kind of slow initially, but then you start getting abilities. Then you start getting multiple actions per turn. Then you start finding some elixirs. Then you start finding some gear, and it's like you start finding that better stuff around 5, and those abilities start to open themselves up around that level point, and then you'll start getting to the point where it's like, do I want a multi-class? Do I want to focus on this? Because that's another thing. It's like you can straight up. It's like okay, I want to be a barbarian, because there's stuff like barbarian monk, because barbarians get they get unarmed damage, and or they get buffed for not having armor. And it's like the monk that I'm playing, like the monk class, I'm playing an unarmed monk. So I get buffs for not having any armor. I get buffs for not using any weapons. So all my stuff is stuff that boosts my hand-to-hand combat and stuff that gives me bonuses for not having armor. So it's like I might multi-class once I get to that point in our next, as the campaign that we're doing right now. It's like I'll spec into barbarian just to get, a couple extra buffs of damage and beat the hell out of people.
I was also... I'll talk about it later when we talk VGAs, but I also went back and was playing Lords of the Fallen since they did that new update. But I'll get into that when we talk VGAs, because I think Lords of the Fallen 2 looks sick. But that's all for me. But yeah, more to come on Baldur's Gate, more to come on Path of Exile. I mean, I'm in an RPG kind of vibe right now. Feeling it.
Sweet. Okay, before we switch to Adrian, I just want to bring up, before I forget, socials. Make sure you follow us there. I kind of switched up the graphic for everyone. I throw up a QR code on there, so you can literally just scan that with your phone, and it'll take you to our link tree.
We fancy now.
If you're watching this from your phone,
this guy Vaughn,
just search for Redacted Roundtable on most socials will be there, or Redacted Party Chat. We will pop up. The link to our link tree is also underneath the QR code, so just type that in and you'll find all the socials. But you'll see that popping up throughout the show. Don't forget to follow, please, and thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Adrian, what have you been playing?
Mine is relatively short, and it's stuff that we've covered for the most part. I've still just been playing Battlefield 6. It's just one of those things. I'm enjoying the ability to have a game that is the quintessential. You get off work and you could play a couple matches and be done with it. Just with everything, it's just you need it. You need it. I don't care about KDs. I'm not someone that gets upset when I die or anything. It's like I think I got like a 1-3, like nothing impressive. I get at least a kill every time I'm alive. That's good enough for me. I ain't trying to go pro or some shit. But having a lot of fun with it. I haven't touched Unicorn Overlord, even though I want to. I did play my first match of Dead by Daylight the other day, though. That game is everything. I like tried it at Joey's house like many moons ago. That game's fun as hell. That game is super fun. I'm probably gonna get super into that. I mean, it is that Evolve-esque energy. And my understanding is like it's one of those. It's like help wanted for killers, essentially. You'll never have to worry about playing. I'm not interested in playing Survivor at all. And I'll never have to worry about it because it seems like nobody wants to play killer. And from the stuff I've been saying, because I've like kind of ingrained myself in the community, even though I wasn't involved until about 2 seconds ago. They kind of punish the killers, I guess. It's like hard to be the killer, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with a good challenge. I didn't have much trouble, but then then again, I'm also in like the tutorial super noob lobbies. So like some dude that's probably like making dinner in the background and like an actual child is probably who I played, but we'll see as it goes. I mean, I might go pro in that. I don't know. Let's see how
They do have skill based matchmaking, so
Yeah.
that'll slap them cheeks here soon.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Even just like because I watch a lot of people play it online, and it's like, so I'm like essentially taking notes. Like, okay, I got to be prepared for this kind of thing, this kind of thing, this kind of thing. It is crazy to see though. Like high level players, obviously, are the people that are going to be the ones generally making YouTube videos about it. But it's knowing the maps, which in any multiplayer game is usually a big deal. But yeah, knowing the maps is a huge thing. Like they're calling out pallets that people are going to drop and loops. People are going to take looping paths. People are going to take before it's like, yeah, they're going to go over there. They're going to drop this pallet. They're going to run like this, 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 and this, and this. And it's like, oh man, and that's going to be one of those, like, I'll probably do decently good on the first few matches. And then I'll probably get dropped in a lobby with a team of people doing that. And then I'll probably get clapped up, and that'll be this beginning of my learning.
Who are you playing as?
So I played the knight. And I actually ended up coming across a video of a guy playing knight the way I play knight, which is like hyper aggressive. You're essentially using your summons. So the knight's playstyle is you can send out a summon, and he's got his entourage essentially. Because I watched like a big lore video on him, which is I love the lore of that game. It's actually really well done. But essentially you send out someone and they have a radius, and when you release the button that uses that ability, if somebody's within that radius, that person will start, that like spirit will manifest and start to chase them. So essentially it's like you send it out ahead of them to curve them back towards you, and then you intersect and cut them off, or chase them because they'll strike.
That's cool.
Them, obviously.
That's super cool.
So it's like you send it in front of a pallet. That dude either A, jumps the pallet and takes the hit, doesn't jump the pallet, takes the hit from me, or jumps the pallet, jumps right back over, takes the hit from me. So like, you have to take a hit. I love that cutoff play style. I also bought this stuff a while ago, and I was like, I'm gonna play. And I bought the Nemesis pack and the Deathslinger pack as well. So I definitely look forward to trying those guys out. But I'm firmly playing in the realm of I don't pay attention to any of like the meta shit or any of like the who's good, who's not. I'm sticking to the thing that I've always said with any game that has any amount of roster. I'm picking the characters that I think are cool. Knights are cool, Cowboys are cool, and Nemesis is cool.
Nemesis is my main.
No, dude. Not to say the other killers aren't cool, but it's like I've always loved Nemesis. And then like
he's so scary.
He's even reading like the Resident Evil like manhwa, where they're not like canon, but some of it's canon. So the Nemesis, one of the Nemesis comics is canon, and he's just a dog. So like it's just random side tangent Resident Evil lore. There's a scene in, I want to say 3, where you see a bunch of like tyrants laid out, and like a bunch of military members laid out. That's like canon from the comic, where essentially Umbrella sent a bunch of tyrants in to try to stop Nemesis from going buck wild. And essentially like the military came in to try to stop everything. The tyrants came in, and then Nemesis showed up and just third partied everybody, dogged like 4 tyrants, and the military just started swinging on everybody. And it's like, dude, you're the GOAT. You're like the coolest of all the, like through the entirety of the series, it's got to go Wesker number 1, but it's like Wesker, Nemesis is like the coolest villains from that whole series.
Yeah. In Dead by Daylight, it's interesting because like TJ is really into those style of games. He doesn't like Dead by Daylight too much, but he was playing a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and he had like a dedicated like friend group that they really played that game. Like they have time and hundreds of hours, and they prefer to be the survivors. It's really interesting.
Right. They call them Swift survivors with friends, and it's like some people frown upon it. It's not really, but it's like you just know when you get that party, it's going to be a thing. Like you're
gonna get bullied.
Yeah, you're playing a coordinated group. It's the same thing. Like if like back in the day playing Call of Duty, And it's like, if you weren't playing, because I played with the boys, and it's like, if I'm not playing with the boys and I see like 5 dudes with the same clan tag, I'm like, we're about to get fucking steamrolled. They're going to be coordinated. They're going to be working together, and everybody on my team is out for whatever the hell they're doing. There's some jackass in the back sniping. There's some dude that thinks he's a pistol Jesus, and it's like, we're just going to get demolished. And it's the same thing with that. It's like, everybody's got flashlights. Everybody's got flashlights. Everybody's got a bunch of reses. It's like, well, here we go. But
yeah,
they're beatable. They are beatable. So, and I look forward to getting to that level. Same thing with like Evolved. By the time Evolve shut down,
peace be upon it.
Peace be upon it. It's still alive somewhere. It is still alive somewhere. But it's like, by the time that point came, I looked forward to coordinated teams, because playing a uncoordinated group of people was like, what is this jackass doing? What is this healer doing in the back? Like, they're hunting me as a healer. It's like, you understand, by the time your team gets over here, you'll be dead. Like, it doesn't matter if you spot me, I'm going to down you and possibly fully kill you. Like, you are. And it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, nobody minds winning, but at this point, I've played enough where it's like, winning won't satisfy me. A good match will satisfy me.
Yeah, like, because I play as Xenomorph. That's my main. And Xenomorph is so cool, man, because so he starts on 2 legs and then we'll hop down into 4, so he's a little bit faster. And he has the tunnel system, so I can just burrow underground, and then I'll see where people are walking, pop up on them, and when they try to jump over the pallets, he has a tail attack that can go over the pallets and attack them. It's funny, though, because with that game, I kind of have the Denzel mentality of just, I'm leaving here with something. I'm taking one person. I'm taking, like, I don't care that 3 of the 4 of you escaped. Go ahead and try to have dinner tonight knowing that I got Susie. It's like, it's a horror movie, because in a weird, inadvertent way, like, don't get me wrong, I'm trying to kill all of them relentlessly. But I'm, in the back of my mind, rooting for you guys to get away. Like, I'm going to get, like, this. It's just fun, the thrill of the chase of that game. But yeah, I played Survivor a couple times, and it was like the Grudge girl crawling out of TVs. I'm like, dude, there's no way I'm playing this. This is so scary, dog.
Yeah, and that's like part of my, and I'll fully admit it, dude. It's like, I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to have my butthole clenched the whole time, dude. The whole
Xenomorphs running up on you.
Xenomorph, or like, especially people like Demogorgon and stuff, and Dredge that can teleport. It's like, dude, just showing up. Just it's the overall of the play style. Take me being a big old puss out of it. That's just, the play style is not my thing. Like I said, with the Evolve thing, it was like I was actively participating and taking it down, and I'm fine with that. But I'm not a fan of games like I'm not a, like, I call them the fuck me daddy horror. Like, I'm not a fan of games where I have no choice but to just get whooped. Like, and I get it. That's not what this game is, which is why I prefer playing exclusively killer. But it's like, yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Amnesia games. I'm not a fan of any game like that where it's like, Outlast. Like, I liked Outlast, but it's like, it did get tiresome eventually. It's like, dude, I have to run from everything. It's like, what do I do now? Run. What do I do now? Run, maybe hide. What do I do now? It's like,
dog,
okay.
I bought Outlast Trials. Don't buy that. That game is filthy. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't even understand how it's only rated M. Like, that is like, what's it called? Manhunt levels of just insanity.
I've been watching the lore videos on that. I watched the one on like the twins or whatever.
Dog,
and they're like conjoined twins in an incestuous relationship. And it's, dude, like,
the whole theme of it is like, it's all sexual.
Yeah, it's
everything is sexual torture and murder, and everything is like, it's like, I remember I started up because I'm like, oh, it's going to be like Outlast. We're going to be running from scary guys, and they're going to try and kill us. Maybe there's some weird stuff here and there. Dog, you ever see that Rob Zombie movie, Lords of Salem? Remember the last 5 minutes when it's just a montage of the craziest stuff? That's like the opening of Outlast Trials. I'm like sitting there, and I look around the living room. I'm like, thank God nobody looked up at the screen in this moment. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. This is crazy.
Oh, yeah. That's
just to run forever from it. It's like, no, dog, you guys are the exact ones I want to stomp out for real.
Right. It's like, you're sitting there. It's like, I got to do this for the good of humanity. You might get me, but I got to do something, dude. You are a monster.
I can't believe I am shocked that game exists for real. It's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that in a game.
Yeah, they do a good job of really skirting the line when it comes to that stuff in that game, where it's like a lot of implication. And I get it, like there's outright messed up stuff, but it's like a lot of times they substitute mannequins and stuff like that, and it's like they're not outright, and that's how they get away with it, which is fine by all means. Go ahead and do your thing. It's not particularly my thing. That's why I'm happy. Like I'm a lore person. It's like I will probably never play Outlast Trials, but I will absolutely watch lore videos on it because I find it interesting. I find it very intriguing. But I don't want to be in your weird, like you said, I don't want to be in your Serbian film. Fucking gross. There's like incest every 2 seconds. I'm like,
it's really the incest is putting a light from the stuff I saw.
I'm excited for Hellraiser when that comes out.
I'm actually going to be interested in watching you play that because Outlast has set a whole new precedent for me of like, I did not even know you could do this. I really didn't know you could put this stuff in games.
Speaking of Dead by Daylight, if EA gave a crap about their franchises, put Dead Space in Dead by Daylight. That'd be sick.
Dude.
Necromorphs as the killer, and then Isaac as a survivor.
It's kind of perfect.
Work out.
Easy money.
That is kind of perfect. You could even substitute it, like how you shine the flashlight and blind him. He could just like telekinesis something and just stun him.
Anything else, Daddy-O?
No, that's it for me. Relatively simple, but I am enjoying it.
Cool. I am also in the very simple realm. I haven't really jumped into anything. It's kind of that time of the year. Still playing Super Robot Wars. I did platinum Skate Story. There's not really much to say about that. It's one of the new games that they put out on Plus for free. It's if Suda51 made a skate game, really. And that's not just based on the visuals, it's based on the story. Like, that story does some weird stuff. Like, you're eating the moon, you're fighting a giant centipede. The music's really good. So, if anything, play that for the vibes and the music. But it's like a 7 out of 10 for me, maybe, if I had to give it a rating. It's not anything crazy. It's just something
good. C grade game.
Yeah. A B tier, as we have discussed before. But, lastly, I jumped back into Silent Hill F because I thought to myself that I'm no punk bitch, so I'm just going to power through it and get that platinum and delete that sumbitch from my system. So
those things hang in the back of your mind, man. Like, I'm in mine as well, but it's like, it's one of those things. It's like, sometimes you gotta muscle through it.
So I'm gonna muscle through the remaining 3 endings that I have to get through and give my final rating on that once I do. But that's really it. I haven't really jumped into anything too grandiose.
Like I said, it's time of year. It's busy. Yeah,
seriously.
Everybody's trying to get everything in order, life-wise and otherwise, but it is good to have those things that you can fall back on and kind of just take that breather and, finish out strong.
Speaking of that, before we jump into the next topic, we have one more 2025 episode to record if we do decide after Christmas to do so. Do we want to make that our game of the year for everyone, or do we want to push that to the first one of 2026?
So either next week be Goaty or the week after be Goaty.
Right.
I like either one. I don't have.
That's tough. I would say push it.
Do the first 2026 one be our game of the year?
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, everyone can look forward to our 2025 Game of the Year episode not next week, but the week after. Be fun. Alrighty. First topic, kind of just going over the VGAs, what we think, what we liked, what we disliked, all that jazz. Let's start with Adrian.
Yeah. I think in terms of like the awards, I for the most part, I was surprised that Death Stranding didn't take a little something home, but I don't think any of us were surprised to see that Expedition cleaned up shop. I mean, they came in full baguette attire with French hats, striped shirts. It looked like a mime convention in the front row. So they knew what was going on. And it's not anything bad. It's like they completely earned it. The game's phenomenal. Top to bottom, very well made. I wasn't very shocked by any of that. I will tell you what, though, what I was shocked by, I didn't realize they were going to go so ham on that Divinity trailer. And I'm by no means a pearl clutcher or anything like that, but I could only imagine that somebody was like at home with their kids and they're like, yeah, let's watch the Game Awards. It's like, sharing that hobby with your kid. And it's like, orgy, people throwing up and pigs, like directly in pigs' mouths while some dude's on fire getting degloved. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are taking it to a whole different level right now, which is, hey, I'm here for that game. Like, by all means, I'm super pumped for that. But holy crap, I did not see that one coming.
It was so out of place.
So crazy. I felt like in terms of just an overall presentation of the show, I feel like it was a mess. To be honest, like that Street Fighter, like it was like a bunch of it looked like somebody got a drama group together and kind of just threw them on stage. And obviously you couldn't pay me enough to think that at least a handful of those people didn't have a couple backstage. And it's like there was really no scripting or anything like that. And by all means, I'm for an authentic interaction, but the I don't remember their names, but the whole essentially "don't touch me" moment and just all of it was very awkward. It was very messy. It was like wrangling a group of freaking cats, and it just was not going well at all. I will say though, in terms of announcements, in terms of game announcements, there's a lot that I'm excited for. Like I think in terms of a lot of them were a ways out, but I think next year is going to be solid. It's definitely got a bunch of releases that I'm pumped for. I mean, we got what was that zombie game? I forget the name of it.
Toxic Commando, or was it?
Is it 4 Loop? Oh no, the zombie one. I think you're Toxic something.
Tank Rat.
Something. I mean, all of it was cool. Tank. That's like I'm pumped for all of them. Obviously, Control 2 is probably at the tippity top of the list. I love Control. And I'm all for Big Hammer. Big Hammer go whack. So you'll never see me complain about that. I'm really interested. It seems like they definitely switched up the gameplay loop. With being primarily melee focused. And I'm interested in seeing. I've always been like a big fan of the whole SCP verse stuff. And obviously that's not the one. It's not the same, but it is. Like anybody that played Control knows it's essentially just SCP stuff. So I'm super excited to see, like that concept is one that I always am excited for, which is essentially like the cat's out of the bag. The genie's out of the bottle. It's like, hey, pretty much everything here has to stay contained, and it's like everything that was supposed to be contained is no longer contained. It's like, oh, what does that look like? So I'm pumped for that energy. I want to see what kind of crazy, ridiculous nonsense I get pulled into in that game, both literally and figuratively. But just to kind of backtrack a little bit, I am excited for that Street Fighter movie. I think it's going to be fun, stupid, and campy. I was talking with Matt about this. I think it's funny that they always kind of cast like a weird dude that doesn't seem very intimidating as M. Bison, because M. Bison in the games is a complete dog. Like he's not somebody I'd be like, I go whoop this dude in the fight. And it's like every casting for M. Bison in a movie is just like the weirdest, dorkiest looking dude. And it's like, why are you doing that to this man? Have you seen him in the games? It's like that dude is not, I would never roll up on M. Bison. Yeah, mean, big. He ain't playing around.
Like Hagar size man.
You're right.
No pupils.
With magic powers and
size 15 boots.
Yeah, with a skull on his head. It's like, oh yeah, that guy's a bad guy. That's a bad egg. I gotta avoid that guy. But they always cast him as the casting is always weird. And I almost feel like it's some kind of weird industry joke at this point. But other than that, super pumped for it. I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be exactly what I'm looking for out of a Street Fighter movie. I don't need it to be some weird, gritty reimagining of Street Fighter. That's not what Street Fighter is. But yeah, I mean, I was pretty satisfied across the board in terms of announcements. I didn't come to that show to realistically be entertained. I did find myself oddly entertained by kind of the shit show, but other than that, like I'm happy with it. I mean, I didn't make any of those games, so ultimately, whether I feel like the appropriate people won the appropriate awards, it's not really relevant to me. Like I'm not going to be upset on their behalf because I spent 0 time making their games. So they can be upset and I can be surprised. But that's it for me.
Cool.
That's fair.
Brandyn?
That was the worst show I ever watched. I hated that almost top to bottom for the most part. It was amazing though, because doing that live with you guys was super fun. Like that made it enjoyable for sure. If I had watched that by myself like I normally do every year, dude, that would have been cataclysmic. There were definitely some good announcements in there that on not second viewing, but going through the list of what was in there, there's definitely some stuff in there I'm interested in. Control, of course. Come on now, what are we even talking about? I know you're interested in this. It probably just slipped your mind, but that Warhammer Total War game.
Oh yeah, that was. I mean, I knew about that before the game show, though. So
yeah,
I was pumped. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I guess there was a lot of leaks that I just didn't even know were coming. I guess Control had leaked, Divinity had leaked.
I didn't see anything besides the Warhammer stuff. So
okay, yeah, that Warhammer game, I'm all over that too. That's very interesting. Now, I just want to double check. It is 40K, right? Not just Warhammer.
Correct. Warhammer. Okay. Warhammer is Warhammer Fantasy.
Right, and that was the Marines.
That was the original. Warhammer was Warhammer Fantasy before Warhammer 40K was even a concept. Gotcha. Yeah, Warhammer 40K started off as an offshoot when they made Rogue Trader. And okay. people liked the universe, like they actually just re-released it, Rogue Trader, this year. But people were so interested in that universe that it actually spawned the entire 40K universe from that initial concept. So fun little Warhammer history fact is, it kind of started off as like almost more or less a joke and became its whole own thing. So Warhammer is Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer 40K is Space Marines and the Imperium.
There's that game No Law that looks pretty cool. It's kind of like a cyberpunk Dishonored-y kind of looking thing. Looks cool. That last game they showed disrespected my existence. And then what was the other one? Oh yeah. Honestly, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I am like really, really, really excited for Lords of the Fallen 2. I think that looks sick. Like absolutely sick. And I was watching the trailer again, and I could be wrong here because it's just the first gameplay reveal trailer, but it looks like there's some kind of mechanic where when you sidestep, like it does the Bloodborne sidestep, but it's a counter because it happens like 4 times in the trailer where he sidesteps and then it goes into like a almost, I don't want to say grapple, but he sidesteps the dragon, stabs it in the eye. He sidesteps a ghoul, uses the scythe, and it cuts him in half. Sidesteps someone else and grabs their head and pulls it off. It's like, dude, and they're talking about a full dismemberment system. The graphics are beautiful. And I had said earlier that I was going back and playing Lords of the Fallen. Dude, that game it's really good. Like it really is extremely fun and has its own identity. Like, yes, it's a Souls like, but at least in my opinion, anything that was ever trying to be Dark Souls or be Elden Ring was always like, I'm not trying to play this. Like you're trying to be something that's too good to replicate.
Right. I think it's well established at this point, though, that like it if and the thing that sucks now is like back in the day, people. I think it's like a but back of a letter lack of a better term. It's like the Halo killer syndrome. Like back in the day, people
Yes.
would boldly make the statement, "This is a Halo killer," and like that was on them. But I feel bad now because like it's the same kind of thing, but it's involuntary. It's like if I make a game that's got a dodging mechanic and somewhat of a medieval aesthetic, someone's like, it's a, it's a Dark Souls clone. It's like I didn't say that. I wanted like because I even played like Mortal Shells, and it's like that game has its own identity, and I just feel like it's shitty that it's like a unfair label is being put upon these games, essentially implying that they're trying to be Dark Souls, and they're blatantly not. So I think it's nice that it's getting a sequel for if for no other reason than it got the recognition for being its own unique thing, and not just a Souls like game.
I wonder if that term will slowly die off like Metroidvania kind of has as we kind of progress. Because I feel like Metroid and Castlevania kind of had that negative title for a while, and it was kind of used a lot when indies were on the rise, and it's kind of flip flopped to the Souls like. So I wonder if it will repeat history and kind of die out.
I think it will, and I kind of think like kind of what I just said. I think this game is going to be maybe the spearhead for that, where it's like games that are of that genre still get the recognition they deserve. Because you look at, you know, all the Metroidvanias, like I mean, Silk Song was up for some awards. It's like that's a Metroidvania, but no one is comparing it to Metroid other than the most arbitrary basic. All this you go around, you unlock abilities to unlock other areas, but no one's going. It's trying to be Metroid. So I think, and there's tons of really great indie Metroidvania games that are that way, and I think we're gonna see that. I think that's almost a guarantee.
Yeah, because dude, Lords of the Fallen has some really cool, unique stuff going on with it, and dude, the aesthetic is just sick. You're just literally we're not beating around the bush. You are a crusade knight. Like you're just straight to the business. Things are filthy. Purge. Get this stuff out of here.
Ew, it's nasty.
And they deserve some props from kind of reinventing that franchise, having put out that original stinker and then kind of redid it as a whole, and it seems to be much better.
Dude, I'm gonna go on a hot take here, man. I'm really gonna go on a hot take here. I think it's making all the steps that the Souls games need to make that I'm not sure From Software is going to take on the next game. In the PvP is good. It's actually good. I will say FromSoft, I think, will always have my heart in the. I love their animations, like how they're just like anime-esque, really exaggerated, and there's so much personality in the animations. Whereas Lords of the Fallen is going a little more realistic and more responsive, I would say, than FromSoft games. Now, I don't know about Lords of the Fallen 2 because Lords of the Fallen 2 seems to have brought the camera in and is adding all those animations. So we'll see how that goes. But just in like the speed, the responsiveness, trimming all the stupid fat. Like I just invite you to play and we play. I don't got to lay down my furled finger bell. Like I don't need to do all that. It's like, and then it doesn't work, and we got to retry it. Did you get it? Did you set your password? None of that. Just invite me and call it.
Are you in the right soul level range?
Like, yeah, all that stuff is just, it's not cool anymore. It's played out. We got to stop that. And it just graphically looks incredible. I mean, it really does look amazing, and their art style is sick. Like it's not because I feel like a lot of games will be like, "Oh, we're Souls like," and maybe your graphics are better, but your art style isn't as good. And I feel like the art style carries from soft games a lot, and it just like for example, there's this mechanic in the game. I mean, it is kind of the central part of the game how you're flipping between the living world and the dead world with the lantern, right? So I, while watching and before even playing it, always assumed it was like, oh, okay, this is like, oh, this is a dead end. Oh, look, now there's a hallway, and I go there, and that is the case. But what's cool is when you pull that lantern up without going into the dead world, there are enemies in limbo or whatever that are just jump scaring, pulling you in. And once you're in now, they've added a mechanic that the longer you stay in the dead world, you're gaining more XP, so it's advantageous to you. But there's an eye where basically a nemesis character is coming, and he's gonna hunt you down. So you're in there trying to like, oh, I gotta hurry up and find a bonfire or a Marika stake to pull me back into the living world before this demon pulls up and is a ultra boss fight. It's super cool, dude. So, and then you're putting that type of tension on top of like, I really can't emphasize just how good it feels to play. The speed, the responsiveness, like hitting those parries. I don't think I've ever not hit one. It's 60 frames, ping, ping. I'm smacking them away in PvP and PvE. Dude, it's cool, man. That's a special game. I'm kind of excited to keep, I'm gonna chip away at it before 2 comes out. I think I'm gonna start watching lore videos on it, dude, because it's cool. I'm digging the Crusade vibe on that. I think people are kind of sleeping on it. Like I'm watching videos online of people reacting to all the games, and no one's even bringing up Lords of the Fallen 2 as if it wasn't one of the coolest games they showed. Like, dude, the end of the trailer is him wrapping a chain and sawing the boss's head off.
Was
like
sick.
It's so cool, man. It's like, I don't know. I shout out to Lords of the Fallen. Shout out to Lords of the Fallen. And those devs, dude, they are so just transparent and based with their like crowd where it's like, hey, you like this? We're gonna do what you like because at the end of the day, you pay the bills. Like, I mean, we're here for our fans and we don't do none of the nonsense. So we're just straight to the point. And it's like, cool. I have all the faith in the world for Lords of the Fallen too, then. All the faith in the world. Like they've proven themselves.
Just on the note of we're kind of talking about what Lords of the Fallen is, and it's essentially like a redemption game. From the developer standpoint, I hope that along with kind of busting up that Souls-like stigma, that it also kind of brings back, and it's kind of something we saw. I want to say with like the Mega Man. I'm not saying it was a theme, but like with the Mega Man trailer, it's like I hope people start giving games like they start doing what they did, which is essentially like give games a second chance that may have failed initially, like not because there's so many games I've played that are cool. They have interesting worlds and stories, but they were just done by the wrong people or at the wrong time. And then they just didn't receive any traction or they got lambasted. And then people are like dead concept. So
1886. Peace be upon it.
Or X Defiant, or Evolve, or yeah, there's a whole laundry list of that. But they'd rather just close the studio and then lay everyone off.
Which that exact point will tie into the other topic.
Yeah, so we'll just go on from there. But I do hope that it kind of does that, and maybe somebody can reach back and snatch those titles. Maybe they're just sitting in IP limbo and nobody cares, and there's somebody that thinks they can make them work.
Dude, I sent it to you guys. You guys have both seen Grandma's Boy.
Yeah,
right?
You're talking about them finishing the.
Dude, they're trying to bring demonic back.
Yeah.
Oh my God. When I used to watch that movie as a kid, I'm like, that looks like the coolest game I've ever seen in my life. I wanted to play that so bad. Just physics, like it actually kind of reminded me of Predator Concrete Jungle back in the day. I was like, that's the closest I could probably get to it of having that kind of thing going on. But I think that was only on Xbox, and I never got to play it.
Concrete Jungle was on PS2.
That's devastating. Didn't know that. Would have played it.
I played the hell out of that game. Game is super ripping out. You mount like the robots that are pretty much just dreadnoughts from Warhammer. It's like someone's spine fused into it, and you do like a finisher. He rips their like spine out and then beats the robot to death with it.
That's
like,
so crazy.
This game
also, Resident Evil 9. Looks really good. It looks really good. I love Resident Evil. I absolutely. I have a bad feeling about it, dude. I don't know why. I can't explain what it is or why it is. I don't know.
Just something not good.
I think it's when he roundhoused him and the body went flying 30 feet across the room. I'm like, it might be a little much. I don't know. I'm wondering how that is going to feel when you're going from her, which is hyper scary, to him, which seems goofy. And like, that's fine. I'm going to love that to a degree. I'm just, what is that game going to feel like overall?
Not enough buckles.
I think there's something wrong with Leon.
Yeah. Oh, you mean story-wise?
Like, I think there's something wrong lore-wise that happens to him, and I don't want to make that as an excuse as to why he's kicking these enemies so far. But from the concept art that they showed, like on his neck, there's like this weird shit, and on his hand. So I wonder if he's infected with something different. And again, this is theory crafting, so maybe it plays into why he's kicking these enemies and they're flying super far that a normal Resident Evil protagonist wouldn't normally do. But, or they could just kill him. Like, they could just straight up kill him.
So, yeah, that's interesting.
Riot.
Because I would also, for what it's worth, I'm not saying that like what I'm seeing I don't like. My feeling is literally just kind of nebulous. I don't really even have any evidence to point towards. Because I've actually always been a kind of defender of Resident Evil 6. It is definitely a weak game in the franchise, but canonically, it makes sense, dude. He's a rookie cop in 2. He's pretty cool by 4. By 6, he's gonna be a super soldier. Like, I like the progression of Resident Evil from 1 to 6 of like, by 6, Chris and all these guys who've been doing this for so long should absolutely be like the CGI Resident Evil movies. We're on the floor, John Wicking zombies, doing crazy stuff. And if it gets to that point in 9 where they were just like, dude, we're Capcomming Leon and we're going to make him a full-blown action combat game in Resident Evil, and then she is horror, that might be amazing. That lastly, just kind of almost like skill expression within, to where like Vaughn plays Leon different than you play him than I do. Dude, I will be mega cooked on that. That'd be amazing.
My only
his hair's a little too long.
I feel like my concern would be that it's like, and maybe they pull it off perfectly, but it just might be like a tonal whiplash of going back and forth. I just hope that doesn't make the game essentially not have an identity. As silly as that might sound, I feel like that gives games like staying power and resonance. And I think my first thought would be like they're almost chasing the feeling of being Chris at the end of Village, where it's the whole time you're running around essentially trying to scavenge and survive. It's like, what if a trained military group that is fully aware of what's happening, fully prepared, and like veterans of this kind of thing come, and it's like, I don't know if you played how much of 8 or if you played 8, Brandon.
Yeah.
It's like, that's like the end of it. It's like, dude,
yeah,
Chris is coming in there cleaning up shop. You have all the bullets and all the guns, and it's cool, but it's one of those things where it's like, I would be concerned that they were like, oh, people like that part of the game. It's like, I liked that part of the game because of the contrast.
Yeah, the rest of it, and it was short.
Right. It was, and that's the thing. It's like, I don't want to be that all the time, but it's like, it's like being, it was almost like a chopper gunner segment in like Call of Duty. It's like, if the game was chopper gunner the game, I don't know if I would like it, but it is cool to be essentially just that guy for a little bit.
That's a good point, and that's kind of what it's going to live or die on for me personally, is how complex is Leon. Because if it is, he's just in there roundhousing people, and it's just like a chopper gunner scene, which is such a great way to put that. That's going to be the disappointment. That would bum me out. Like, I don't want Leon to just be spin to win, basically. But if you make him complex, and then last thing, I think secretly Chris is going to show up, and they're going to give him his due, and he's going to have that combat system. I think they got to give Chris, like Leon's like the ninja throwing kicks, and Chris is going to be, I'm giving you these things, like just beating people up.
I would hope that they do that with DLC. Like, give Chris his own DLC to set up maybe for the next one that maybe they can let him lead in. But yeah, like you guys said, the balance between her and Leon with horror versus action is a balance that I don't envy them tackling. If we didn't live in the world of leaks and surprises are no longer a thing for the gaming community, I think if that was a timeline we lived in, they would have never brought Leon up. Because what a hell of a surprise would that have been to have gotten 9 and then you start, or you eventually get to a chapter where you're playing as Leon. They're like, what the fuck happened here?
They should have showed it.
Yeah, that's something that's kind of
it was also leaked, so there was no way to not say it. Like, retailers ruined it, screenshots ruined it, so
I'm so torn on leaks in general. It's like I wish I could trust the industry more to be like, let them cook, but there's been plenty of times where I'm like, I'll stop them cooking immediately. Stop this before it hits the market. You've made a mistake.
I miss the days of E3 surprises where just music starts playing.
I always wanted to go to E3. I always wanted to go.
Yeah. But I hope that they don't go the Alan Wake 2 route where you can swap between the characters freely. I hope that they tailor make it to be like, okay, so chapter 1 through 3 you're her, and then maybe a chapter or 2 you're Leon, and then it forces you into the other one, because you're just gonna have people complain like, I played all the Leon stuff and then everything else was boring. Like, fucking.
I mean, I think if they implement it, I mean, there's tons of ways they can implement it, and you are right. It's like that's such a contrast that I do not envy you trying to make that feel good and feel coherent. And I think, to be honest, like that, like you said, it's like not all. I think adding Leon in as like almost like a chopper gunner section mid game to kind of give you a breather, I guess. Like if it's horror, because even games like Dead Space have their moments like that, like other horror games do that. It's like, yeah, give me a reprieve. Every once that's a good way to get even like new players where it's like some people can't just handle being scared for like hours on end. They need a break. And I think, like you said, a scenario where you have hit an impasse and essentially, I Need a Hero starts playing, and now the next chapter is Leon absolutely dusting people, pretty much just putting zombies in a blender to, save you. It's like, yeah, I could do that. And then for whatever reason, building collapses or something, Leon does 20 backflips, and then it's you again, trapped where he can't help you.
They unfortunately have the Ghost of Christmas Past, aka Resident Evil 6, looming on their back, so the contrast between the way one character plays versus another is just waiting to be spewed out of some loudmouth on Twitter somewhere. So,
right, which is at least in my opinion, I think that's not even the problem with that game. like it's just like Jake being more hand to hand, I thought was kind of cool, and then Leon, because Leon and Chris kind of played similar. They
very
shoot
hot
and drop
fire
on the
maybe.
ground. Yeah, they drop in the ground and do the rolling, and I think maybe Leon had a quick shot or something.
Leon's was more horror-esque, and then Chris was more Resident Evil 4, and then Jake's was...
Dude. Shout out to the scene with Chris where you're chasing the giant snake through the market. That part is super cool, man. Underrated scene. Underrated.
6 was good. Fuck everybody.
Yeah, 6 is
they had a lot of cool shit in that game.
Dude, 6 is a fun game. It's just too long. It's just paced bad. And they're trying to do these like Call of Duty cutscenes and stuff. It's like, I get it. It's
It's of that era.
Yeah. A 7 looks really bad amongst 10s. It's like, it's not a bad game by any stretch. Sorry, I keep shaking the camera. But on the last thing of Resident Evil, I hope he's not a chopper gunner. ever seen. That would be so disappointing, especially, and primarily just because of what they did with RE4 remake. That combat is chef's kiss. Please take that to a whole nother step. Please. Like, I would be, you saying that he might be infected has me kind of like, that'd be so cool, dude. If this dude is progressively just almost getting angrier because he's getting more infected and those roundhouses are sending people across the, like, that's cool.
Something's going on, because that ain't normal skin, bro. That's looking gross, and you've had Las Plagas in you, so what kind of weirdness could be happening to your body?
Ridiculous. Absolutely no justification for it. Hope for that. He's infected with a strand of the virus recovered from Wesker's body, and he's slowly turning into Albert Wesker, and that's why his attacks are more aggressive.
Dude.
And like you're getting like inner monologues of Albert Wesker and shit like that. Absolutely no justification. Zero whatsoever. I'm just cooking this up. I'm seeing it. It was stupid at first, and I was honestly cooking up a stupid fucking joke about like it was secretly Wesker and he rips his mask off, but then I was thinking about it and I'm like, that would be dope. No reason to say this, complete fan fiction, but I love Wesker, as previously stated, and I ain't gonna lie, I feel like he went out super weak. Like, yeah, he was in a volcano and he got shot with rockets, but I don't know. Like, that's how Wesker went down. A big, like, the super suave, super cool, always has a plan guy. His grand plan was to turn into a big wiggly monster and fight you in a volcano. It just seemed like it wasn't the way that Wesker should just be completely removed from the series for me. And I would love to see him come back. And if that's the way they try to do it, I mean, I don't, obviously I hope Leon succeeds in not becoming Wesker, but if they can find if they had some kind of reanimation protocol, call it, it's like, oh dude, I'd fucking all day with that.
There's no reason Wesker couldn't be in this. If you really boil it down, what if the remake series is its own timeline?
Dude, that's exactly what I was about to say, dog. I think I'm so convinced right now that Leon, you're going to have a super fight with Leon and Wesker. You guys are going to be super fighting each other.
If Wesker is introduced in this game in like his new iteration, I will shit my pants.
You don't make a Wesker skin and a Wesker animation and everything and never use him again. That's not a Capcom thing to do, other than Dragon's Dogma. But
and he's at the end of 4 remake. He pops up.
Visceral.
Yeah.
I hope they remake 5, by the way. Throwing that out there.
Probably after they're remaking Code Veronica. So
what the fuck happened with 3? Why was that such a ball drop?
Yeah,
it blows my mind. Like, I'm still hurt over it. It is what it is. Like, I've accepted it, but it stings. But it's like 3 was like the anomaly. 1 remake was good. 2 remake was good. 3 butt cheeks. 4 good.
I think Capcom hit a Sony with a PlayStation 3 mindset where they were like, we're on top of the world. Let's just throw this out here. We can do it real fast in between games, and they'll buy it. Well, they got us.
Yeah, they got arrogant for a second, for sure.
But we were pissed. Everybody was pissed, and it's like, you're good on them. They were like, all right, let's careful, Icarus. They got a lot more than they thought.
They dropped that. Everybody got mad. Immediately came with 8, and then the rumors of 4 remake were coming. So it just like washed everybody's brain real quick. Also, want to just jump to Control real quick. I think on account that Control 1 introduces it being tied in with Alan Wake, based off of how Alan Wake 2 ends and whatnot, and now that this stuff is all out, I feel like this is about to really alter, or like it's going to super tie in with Alan Wake 2. Like, it's basically a sequel in a sense. Just wanted to throw that out there because, like you were saying, it's not contained anymore. It is out, and that is. I don't really know. I mean, nobody does, but like that game's about to be insane. I don't even know what that could mean. you have infinity within the house. Now you're infinity touching another infinity.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
And there's so much, you guys played the game. There is so many chambers. There were so many chambers, and behind any of those chambers is any crazy. That's why I love the SCP. Anything could be behind those doors. Anything.
I assume they're going to arbitrarily put something in there where it's like it's just not strong enough to spread to the world. So that's why you can only go so far in this world. Just gamify it in some way. But I think Dylan, because he was chanting in the DLC and Control 1, I think he can speak the words of power. I think that's why he was chanting, to like keep it potentially contained, and now that it's out, he doesn't have to do it anymore. But I think he has something to do with the words of power.
That's interesting, because that puts him kind of between Jesse and Alan, where Alan is writing words and Jesse's whole thing is sound.
Mm-hmm.
You literally, oh man,
yeah,
that's so cool. We got to do that marathon.
That game's gonna be so fun.
Because you didn't, Adrian, you haven't played Alan Wake 2 yet, right?
I haven't played Alan Wake 2, no.
Okay, yeah, we got to get you on that.
I heard mixed things about it, and not like silly, like
that game is
Twitter
don't
stuff.
Listen to anybody. That game's amazing.
Is it?
That game is. There's nothing else like it.
If you go into Alan Wake 2 thinking it's going to be like Alan Wake 1, don't do that.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh, really?
It's not.
Yeah,
it's not like Alan Wake 1.
The camera's pulled closer to the character. I wouldn't say Alan Wake 1 was arcadey, but it loses that whimsical, joyful feel that Alan Wake 1 kind of gave sometimes. This is like serious horror.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like Alan Wake 1 kind of has that Stephen King kind of thriller kind of thing going on. This is more, this one's more like an A24 horror movie, I would say. It's more like it's abstract. It's really showing some crazy visuals. It's mind-bending.
That man's mind is broken.
If original It was Alan Wake 1, the newer It is Alan Wake 2.
Oh, that's a great comparison. Yeah.
I once again, I would absolutely love, the more people I can have in on this conversation, the better, because Alan Wake 2 is almost like diving into Elden Ring lore or something. It is vast, dog. It is deceptively vast.
I almost care more about what the story of Control 2 is going to be than how it's going to play. Like, I know the gameplay is going to be fun, but I want to know what those crazy people over at Remedy are going to do with the story.
So nuts,
and they have so many ways to go with it. So I know I don't have to wish them luck, but please let's just keep. I think this year has been fairly solid gaming wise. And it's like let's make 2026 like just a good year. I want, hopefully I find the time, but I want to be excited for games. I want to be excited to have like a roster of games where it's like all these games are different, but I feel like they're made by people that know what they're doing. Like if they're all made by, it's like, I don't care if it's an FPS. I don't care if it's an adventure game. I don't care if it's a horror game. It's like every single one of these are, thank you. That's all I want. I don't have to dig through my back catalog of games to find a game to just enjoy.
Yeah. Funny thing with Remedy is the way they're going to go is all the ways, all at once. They're going to choose every direction and shoot 100%. Like I'm thoroughly, dude, because especially
Control 1 felt like a fever dream. It was a great game, but it's like playing that game, like thinking back on it now, I'm like, man, somebody was in there. Same thing with the Wendigo thing, dude. There was a madman in that studio just writing things on the wall, and they're like, yeah, this guy gets it. This guy's he's what I'm going for.
Control 1 has some Kojima DNA in it, to me.
Mm-hmm. Dude, sorry.
I was going to say, anything else with VGAs? Kind of went off on a tangent with Resident Evil and Control.
I mean,
Yeah,
dude, they announced my boy Leon and Jesse, and it's it's a wrap.
They're good.
I just gotta talk about them.
I'm ready to go.
Last thing on Control, Alan Wake, blah blah. There's 2 DLCs in Alan Wake 2. The first one is kind of like an anthology. Vaughn, you played it. The one about I think is it Breaker, Sheriff Breaker, is absolutely insane. Absolutely never seen anything like it in anything ever. It's like, and at least to me, for the most part, I think it kind of puts some form of understanding around the world of the Remedyverse. I'm probably completely wrong, but
I'm not the overseer of that, so I will agree with you though that I feel the same way.
Yeah, there seemed to be some kind of like, okay, I mean, do you think, I don't even know if you can spoil Alan Wake. It's like you can talk about all you want, and it's
I don't even get bothered by spoilers anyway.
Real.
That DLC also touches on something really relevant nowadays in terms of AI and art and stuff, so it would be interesting to have you play that and have your take on it.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, there's nothing like Alan Wake. There's nothing like Remedy. Shout out to Remedy, dude. I hope they just keep succeeding to the point to where they don't have to necessarily be this like weird in between semi-indie thing, because the day they can get true blank checks is going to be we're cooked. I digress. I'm done.
We kind of touched on my points, but I'll bring up Pragmata. I forgot to say that I played the demo on my Steam Deck. I won't dive too deep into it because I know you guys kind of want to get a fresh take on that. It was good though. I'll say it doesn't feel like a traditional Capcom game, which I'm happy for. Let's see, what else? Of course, Control 2. Of course, Resident Evil 9. What else do we have here?
I got excited by my own fanfic. I don't know why. Stuck in my head now.
We need Albert. Like, Wesker needs to be in these modern games more than just
cool, dude. He's cool.
Is the coolest.
Gang of Dragon. I'm excited for that, considering it's just like another offshoot of, or seeming offshoot of, Yakuza.
Yeah, that's I guess the original creator of Yakuza who made his own studio, which is kind of interesting.
Yakuza has always been a hand-to-hand combat type game, but the actor portraying the main character in this is a big like fight action star. Adrian, you've probably seen movies. It's just like this sumo size looking dude that just punches the shit out of people. That guy.
He's the
main character. You went on
a
bathroom break when they showed that trailer, but he's the main character.
No way.
Yeah.
If he's who I think he is, I love that dude. I like because I
cool.
I love martial arts movies, and yeah, that guy's, I guess, style is really just beating the piss out of people. It's really, I don't like he's a competent martial artist, but it's just straight up giving people the mitts. So I'm super down for that. I will have to look up that trailer because I totally missed that.
Yeah,
poo.
That one I'm excited for. Saros, of course, the Housemarque game. They showed some more of that. Confirmed the what's her name from Returnal? That voice actress is going to be in this.
Oh yeah.
So she's in it.
So is it going to be a connected thing then?
They haven't said officially yet, but I'd like to hope so.
Cool I kind of hope it is.
That game's a trip too. Trip and a half.
Phantom Blade Zero. I'm super pumped for that one too. I don't know if we can consider that a Souls-like at this point, but I don't think so. I'm super excited to see how that game controls, because that team was originally a mobile game team. They've only made mobile games before, so them taking or dipping their toe into full-fledged console gaming.
Level up.
Hope they do well. But overall with the show, I think this is one of the weakest video game awards I've ever seen. The announcements, like we all said, were cool. There's stuff that I'm definitely going to play. I've accepted that 25 to 30% of his shows are ads. It's not a big deal to me. He's got to get that money somehow, so that doesn't bother me. I would disagree with people in that, having thought about it, that the pacing was good. They kind of front-loaded the show, and then the latter third, maybe even half, was kind of just downhill, at least for me. Like you said, that final game, High Guard. Don't put that as your final game, man. That was the worst thing you could do.
Unbelievable. I'm not interested in that game at all. I forgot that. I'd already forgotten the name of it by like 2 days later. I was like, I don't fucking know. They put out some garbage.
I would argue that it's, I don't want to say false advertising, but it's, you're kind of telling a half truth. It's like, oh, the team that brought you Titanfall and brought you Apex Legends. It's like, let's not pretend that the lead guy is not.
At this point,
let's not pretend like it's like saying the new from the guys that brought you Metal Gear Solid, but Kojima's not there. Come on,
right.
No, it's not. This is not that.
That stuff puts me on high alert now. Like, it really does. There's been so many games that have came out within the last handful of years, and it's always like from the team, or even a lot of times, even it's like from the a handful of people, the director, the whatever that made the last halfway decent game, and I got burned every single time, dude. Every time.
Except for that, dude. They would be like from the executive producer of the second Insidious movie.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and that means nothing. That means nothing to me now.
I don't care who the executive producer was, dude.
You're reaching really hard, because if you just made a good game, you wouldn't have to convince me. So or a good movie, it's like, I don't know why that matters. Like, I understand why it's a good marketing move, but it's like that trick is played out. That don't mean nothing to me no more. You're gonna have to.
Final summation: that show was made much, much better watching with the growing community that we had. So, all right, we can jump to the first topic if no one has anything else for the VGAs. Alrighty. Topic 2. How have we, as a community, let selective outrage and hypocrisy towards certain titles and not others become the standard? When, as a community, we need to be unified in our message as consumers more than ever. This was Brandon's topic, so I will let him explore that first.
I don't know how we got here, man. I guess it's kind of true with all things to a degree, this selective outrage stuff. It's just probably because I'm just so entrenched in gaming community that it just, it's like kind of thing where gamers on one hand, they love, flexing up on the mountaintop how we don't stand for that stuff. Gamers will shut it down, blah, blah, blah. That's funny because you bought the next EA game. That's really funny because you bought the next, whatever skin, even though you claim you hate skins. Obviously, you don't hate skins. Notoriously, I cry about Dragon's Dogma. Let's take Capcom. Devil May Cry 5. No one said a word that had microtransactions. You can buy the red orbs that upgrade your character. If you wanted to, you could spend all the money day one and get the entire roster, like all of the moves. There's so many moves in that game. No one said a word. But Dragon's Dogma has teleporting, fast travel diamonds or whatever. It's the end of the world. We have to ruin Dragon's Dogma's reputation. They had microtransactions. Same thing with Shadow of War. Shadow of War came out. It had microtransactions. They did not affect you. It's a single-player game. Who cares if Vaughn wants to buy a special orc? It does not affect you. That became the narrative. That became the narrative of Shadow of War. No, and then we were talking about, AI, right? People, even though it was false information, about Larian using AI in the way they were using it, that became a problem on the internet. But Kojima says the same thing and no one says anything. So it's like there is privileged people who are allowed to just do whatever they want and get away with it and no one says anything. Bethesda has somehow done this for 15 years. I have no clue how, right? Because everybody is apparently a huge frame rate snob. Everybody's a huge snob about all these things, but it's Bethesda. No one cares then. It's like, guys, this is why we're in the predicament we're in, where they try to get away with this stuff, because we need a unified message. And it's like, it has to, like, we can't just pick and choose. And I understand that, and it might be kind of, what's the word, divisive. They're divisive, because they're going to come out with stuff like, oh, I can get the game early. And for the vast majority of these games, they're like, I don't care. But then, I don't know, War of the Monsters 2 comes out, and I'm like, oh, God, I could get it 2 days early because that matters to me. So then I break my principle. And they're like, well, we got those guys, and that seems to be what it is they'll target, or not target, but it's, these things are franchises for a reason. There's fans.
But I say most games are kept alive by like the whales, like all the DLC. It's like there's a very small percentage of people that actually engage with that stuff. It's just like that core group of people that are pretty much funding them on their own.
Yeah. It's like, you can't, I guess the Dragon's Dogma, just off the top of my head, is kind of the best example I can give, in the Shadow of War thing, where it's like, I'm just confused, man. These are story mode games and it doesn't actually affect anything. Why did you guys go so hard on these games to ruin their reputation completely? And now look where we're at. Bye-bye Nemesis system. That's what you guys get because you wanted to make that the narrative. Now that game's ruined because that's its first, people hear, oh, that game's got microtransactions, and the normie's not going to know anything besides what they're just generally hearing. Oh, it's not good, microtransactions. I don't know, man. Resident Evil 4 has microtransactions. No one said a word. It's so annoying. That's the same company.
Dude, I think all of it will tie back. Sorry, Vaughn. I feel like I cut you off where you're going to cut in. I feel like it all ties back to like tribalism. I feel like in general, I think that is the main problem. Like something like pro-consumer practices is something that people, I think, talk about a lot, but they don't really like preach it and push it. And I think that is the only truly unifying thing in that industry. It's like you could like all kinds of different games. You can like all kinds of different genres. You can like whatever you want, but I think we can all agree we don't want to get fucked, by these companies. It's, but that's never what anybody's really talking about. It's always something, well, I buy it and I can justify it because of this. It's like, well, this is a thing that I like, but I really like this. It's like people are willing to kind of put their common sense aside for like weird tribalistic stuff, like groups that they like, things they enjoy, and ignore the big picture. And I think that's like the overarching problem. It's like people low-key refuse to be unified for a single purpose because we're just human beings and we're assholes like that.
Also, real quick, because there's going to be somebody that's like, that wasn't the only problem. Dragon's Dogma didn't run good. My frames weren't maxed out. Shut up. Okay. Shut up. God. Like, dude, the game ran good. It didn't run immaculate. God forbid. They patched it in a few months. Like, and when I was playing it, I'm like, I don't know, 45, 50, probably 45 frames or something like that. And you can lock it at 30. Dog, it's an open world, super realistic physics RPG. Where are those at that you guys are playing that are all running at 60 frames? Because I don't know where they... Please point me in that direction. Oh, that's right. You're just choosing this game to be burned at the stake for no reason.
Brandon, but you don't understand. Yeah. Somebody told them that they needed more frames. And they're with that group that thinks you need more frames. So even common sense would dictate that you have a unique title that runs perfectly fine, realistically. It's like, yeah, but, more frames.
I paid $70. I should get 70 frames.
Yeah, it's nonsensical. People push these ideas to other people, and it's like I said, it comes back to it's like now they're in that group. It's like,
Yeah,
I
we'll
would have
see.
gave it
We'll
money,
see
but
how.
it's just stupid. It's stupid small sub mindsets like that where it's like take that, that concept or any other small stupid thing you see people complain about all the time, and it's like, why you believe these things? Why? Because somebody else told you that it needed to have a set amount of frames or it was a bad game. It's like you didn't even think for yourself.
Yeah, I really hope everybody keeps that same energy when their baby boo boo GTA 6 comes out. I highly doubt you will. Those microtransactions are going to be egregious.
The game is
guarantee you it's not running at 60 frames, but that'll be fine. That's fine. Because now we don't care. Our principles are out the window. We don't care no more. And then we're like, I can't believe they're doing this to us on another game.
The new microtransaction is AI though, so I think a lot of that stemmed from the AI talk and kind of the nebulous state that we're all in with AI and its usage and its morality, as we talked about on episode
Case file number 2.
Yeah, I think the AI is the buzzword, and this topic kind of, I went down a long rabbit hole thinking about the various things that come into play with this. Like Adrian said, it's groupthink. It's so easy for one person to spout their mouth off online, and then someone's like, yeah, I hate that too. And then 2 of their friends, and then 4 of their friends, and then it's just an explosion of nonsense and garbage that might not even be true whatsoever. But now
they don't even know why they hate it. They don't even know why they hate it.
Someone will ask, "Hey, did you play this?" No, but I watched a video
said
on
it was bad, so I said okay.
Okay.
Yep.
I guess you have all the will in the world to talk about it, but
dude, it makes me so viscerally angry, man. Like, I see these videos popping up of specifically Shadow of War and Dragon's Dogma because the same thing happened to them, obviously. And it's just so funny. These videos will pop up. Like, I just saw one today pop up. We might have been harsh on Dragon's Dogma too. I'm like, I swear to God, dislike this video. I hate you. I hate all of you who are like, well, maybe. No, it's too late. That's exactly what you're saying. It's the group thing. You guys, no one even, to this day, you try to watch these videos on Dragon's Dogma, and the first 25 whatever seconds, minutes, it has to be talking about those same stupid talking points. Talk about something else. Talk about the game, dude. Talk about the game. I digress. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah, I think at the core of your topic, it's, I hate to say it, the gaming communities that are vocal are still super niche. So the ones that do speak out are the loudest, and unfortunately, those are the ones that get to the people that can make the change. So we're almost too connected. I've thought about deleting various things so I don't see it, so I'm not as angry and I don't see these people talking about stuff that they shouldn't be talking about. But I like to know things, and it sucks when the knowing the truth things gets clouded by farts. I hate it.
I 100% agree with you, and that's, to be honest, a lot of times that you bring up topics, I'm surprised because I can only explore so much. I have a much weaker tolerance for just like the overall stupidity of the world and the internet. So it's like I go on there, it's like I might learn 1 or 2 or look up, see 1 or 2 things, and then it's like a slew of stupid shit, and I'm like, okay, I need to get off this. This is, I hate this. I hate this place.
It's getting worse. It's like it really is. It's getting bad.
To answer your question, I think the gaming community as a whole are just hypocrites, and
yeah, For real.
Not everybody,
really
and it's to varying degrees. Like you said, you buy a deluxe edition and it comes out a couple days early for a couple extra bucks. Maybe you're super excited and you do it. Is that harming anyone other than your wallet? Not really. AI, are you buying a game that was made almost completely by AI? Who knows? Like, you're hurting. Who are you hurting with that? The AI part is almost an outlier and a whole separate discussion that we'll eventually tackle again because it's growing in popularity and hate, as this topic is kind of touching on a little bit. But I think we're also in an unfortunate time where there's just so much coming out that you can have someone completely shit on a game or shit on a developer or a director, and we're so connected that people just move on to the next game. And we forget about the travesty that just took place, and it just falls underneath the next news item, and it's out of our mind. Like, there's too many games.
Yeah, that is definitely a big portion of it too. It's like kind of reminds me of music in a way, where an album or a mixtape or something will come out and it drops right now and people are like, yeah, it's good. Dog, what do you mean it's good? You don't, there's no way. It's music. You can't just have an opinion on an album after an hour. It's not a movie. You got to live with music for a month. It's just, but it's on to the next. What's hot this weekend? What's, the next thing. Go ahead and someone else go, because I had a point, but I forgot what it was.
I was just going to agree with it because I never really even thought of it, but it's like, I mean, I'm guilty of it. That's like that's like the fucked up part about it, like the sick part.
Oh yeah,
I'm very much guilty of what Vaughn said, and it kind of just dawned on me. And it's like, yeah, we really do. It's got to the point where it's like I'm by no means trend following type of person, but it is like, oh yeah, no, that was talked about, then it wasn't, then talked about, then it wasn't. It's like there's times where it's like, oh, that game came out, that released, oh, it's already done. It's like, I get caught off guard a lot. It's like, man, the industry has got me in a blender. You might be right, Vaughn. There might be too many games.
There's definitely, okay. I remember my point now. So it's with the microtransactions. For example, like Larian, there was no microtransactions from what I understand, right? With Baldur's Gate,
correct.
It's just a game, no DLC, no extra stuff, just a game.
Correct, which sucks because I would love DLC for that, but that's a whole separate thing.
And I totally applaud them for that, 100%. I also, though, at the same time, don't necessarily at this point fault anybody for having it in their game. We're at the point now where it's just like, I mean, I hate to break it to everybody, the microtransactions won.
Right.
It's
just a standard.
They're going to be there. What we could unify on is just like, what style of practice are you doing it? So, using Dragon's Dogma, if those teleporting crystals were lacking in the game to the point where it's like, hey, you should buy them, yes, that is absolutely bad. But it's not like that. You're getting them constantly. I actually don't. It's so silly they even did it, because it didn't even need to be a microtransaction, because you're getting them pretty frequently. But it's like, okay, you had microtransactions like everybody else does. It's just that part of hypocrisy of just like all of a sudden everybody's brain goes feral and they're like, wait, there's microtransactions in this game? Dude, they're in every game. It's like the Larians and like the God of Wars are the complete anomalies. Now that's why it's special when they do it, because it's like, wow, that's pretty confident. That's also a statement at this point, because the rest of the world is like, well, I mean, I would be silly to pass up this money that these goobers are going to spend $10,000 on whatever stupid, microtransaction, whether it is a pay to play or pay to win or
not. I think we're also in an age where people have learned what microtransactions are, and to compare microtransactions to AI again, microtransactions are visible. Like they're things that you can pick to engage in or not. Whereas we're still in the infancy of AI usage, so people don't know what's being used or what AI is being used for what. And I think that's where a lot of the anger and hate and all that come from, which to each their own. The thing that it comes down to is you either accept that it's an inevitability and you then make your decision based on that, or you don't. Like, you can't pick and choose. You can't hate AI completely and then pick and choose what you're okay with AI on. Like, we don't see what companies are using what. It's not mandated to put on a box, this used AI assets or this used AI in the work process of creating it. We might eventually get there, and then you can make a more informed consumer decision if you want to engage in that or not. But I think people are going to have a rude awakening when they realize how many companies are using AI nowadays and just not telling you. Like, some of your
Oh, sorry, bud.
I was going to say some of your favorite die-hard companies are probably using it and just haven't said it yet. Like, Bethesda's most likely using. They're not going to. There's no way Bethesda's going to make Elder Scrolls 6 and not use some sort of generation with AI.
Once it becomes indistinguishable, you will not hear this conversation anymore. Just flat out. Once it becomes like completely indistinguishable, where they know that they will just be able to use it. I'm not going to use the term caught because I don't think it's a negative or a positive thing. It just is what it is. It's like once it gets seamless, they won't even entertain the questions. Like, is there AI? It's like, no, get this guy out of here. No, I'm not even going to answer this question anymore. It's like, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Are you going to buy the game or not? So
that's a good point you made too. The difference between microtransactions and AI is that the microtransactions are visible and the AI isn't.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you guys a video a few weeks ago. It looks like it's a video of a dude like in his bathroom on the toilet, and a deer jumps through the window, and then a bear follows it and is trampling them. It's AI, but dude, it looks real. Like, AI slop is becoming almost indistinct. I mean, I don't even want to say almost. I get fooled a lot. Like, I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't really believe anything I'm seeing.
I'd say it's learning software. It is essentially teaching itself to be better at whatever it's doing.
Like,
if this is the infancy, we are cooked. We are cooked.
Dan Houser made a good quote the other day about AI. He compared it to, or the quote is, he says AI is like when we fed cows with cows and got mad cow disease, in that we're eventually going to get to a point where there aren't creatives making stuff for the AI to pull from, and the AI is going to eat itself. So that's an interesting thing to kind of think about, in that AI right now is pulling from artwork and creatives out there.
Right.
But if we go more down the AI route, what is it going to pull from if we aren't creating unique things? So I'm like, that's an interesting take on the AI aspect.
Yeah, it's all moving so fast that, and just in general, and I mean, it sounds harsh or whatever, it's just, we got to just, as a people, we have got to just stop being all talk. Them tough talks don't mean anything when you still swipe your card. Just doesn't mean anything. They're like, oh, they swiped their card. They ran their mouth from them. Man, I just can't even believe that you would even consider doing this. So immoral of you. Just take it. It's like, all that talk meant absolutely nothing. Meant nothing.
If you're going to vote with your wallet, actually vote with your wallet and not spend the money. It's that simple.
It works. It's super effective. It is
It's
super
so
effective,
effective.
time and time again.
Call of Duty put out a statement like, we fucked up this year, and you guys aren't buying
One
it.
game.
I haven't bought a Call of Duty in a long time. I've been speaking with I used to buy it every single one that came out, and then I was like, you know what? You guys ain't done shit for me lately. Bye. And just never went back. I don't miss it not a bit.
Like, even, and I don't really expect the, average person to know stuff like this, but like you were saying, it's the vocal minority who does know. Like, for example, when Dragon Age is coming out, regardless of all the other stuff going on with it, it's like, dog, that ain't BioWare no more. The lead people have been gone forever. It's like, I was in West Virginia a handful of years ago and I went and saw Leonard Skinner. Dude, there's one person still alive. That ain't Leonard Skinner.
Right.
Like, what are we even talking about?
So the old
This
ship
isn't-
of Theseus.
Yeah, it's like, this isn't BioWare. And you guys are like, but maybe. Dude, you are delusional to think that this is going to be anything like Knights of the Old Republic or Mass Effect or anything like that.
The soul of these games aren't inside the company. Like it's
No,
not captured.
The brand.
Yeah, it's not captured within the building of BioWare or these other games.
Yeah.
Like that's I get it. Like that's essentially what the marketing is portraying. It's like, this energy is captured
From the executive producer
Right.
of
Right. And it's like, it's that guy probably didn't have anything to do with it. He probably was just like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good.
So
Like some other actual creative person did the work.
Like, and that's where those vocal minority people, it's like, dog, you guys are kind of for the most part malevolent. Like, you don't ever really sing the right tune most of the time. Sometimes you do, but it's like, and it's not always like it's the same 10 people or something. It's just some random comment that maybe just so happens to take off or whatever the case is. But the message is just all wrong. And I don't think it's complicated. I don't think it's complicated at all. These people have screwed you the last 3 times. I'm surprised you let it get to 2.
People are selfish and they just don't give a shit. That's really what it comes down. Like for a lot of people, they're not as passionate as we are as well. So there's that is something you got to take into consideration. Just
for
your
sure.
average person they're just a consumer.
But the average person also isn't the one, let's just say, who's trying to nuke Dragon's Dogma.
Right.
The same person who is in tune, because you're on the forums complaining about frame rates and microtransactions and the fairy stone. You're not an average Joe.
Right.
So you don't get off. Yeah. But 100% I get what you're saying, for sure. I'm sure that topic can come up again at some point.
I'd probably just hang around forever because people are the worst.
Yeah, they suck so bad.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Anything else on that topic, or do you want to move to the last?
A lot else, but I don't have enough time.
Alrighty.
I'm just going to cry forever, basically, about it.
Not enough time in my life.
Topic 3. So I've brought up how we've kind of hit the peak of graphical fidelity with games. Per generation, we've kind of reached that point. What are some next-gen features that would capture or impress you when it comes to the future of game releases? And this can be major, minor. It can even be things that you want explored more. This was my topic, so I can jump in first. I just have bullet points on it. Some more gaming-specific ones. I want more adaptive enemy AI. AI buzzword. Check. In the same realm that kind of Kojima brought up with his latest quote, where he wants to use AI for better enemy interactions, which I'm down for. Like, the smarter they get, the more complex the game seemingly is, and we'll have to adapt. So I enjoy having that challenge of not knowing if the enemy is going to counter what I'm about to do. So imagine if Batman Arkham series comes out and the enemies can actually look up and see that you're above them. That would be cool. Or
hey, it's Bat Freak, he's above us.
Or do things that
so confident
that we wouldn't think of. Like, if anyone's going to do it, I think Kojima could do that. But yeah, just smarter enemies that kind of adapt to what you're doing in a game at any given time. Adrian, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was holding on to the thought, and then I lost it at like the last minute. Give me 1 second.
Another one. This is kind of subjective, but more compelling narratives. I don't want to say stories nowadays are kind of boring and basic, but at least the ones that I jump into, I like interesting, compelling twists and interesting subject matters. Control, Alan Wake, stuff like that. Things that people are writing that are interesting and keeping me engaged. That kind of goes into not having a game that's 50, 70 hours long. Those type of games, I don't think it's inconceivable to have a story that engages you that whole time. So I'm mainly speaking with like cohesive 10, 15 hour games where you can tell a narrative from start to finish in that game and have it keeping me interested the whole time. Some other smaller things, maybe something like I enjoy, Brandyn, you kind of touched on this earlier, devs actually listening to people and taking not negative feedback, but taking feedback that would overall make a game better into account, and not just taking all negative hate and then making the change based on that, but listening to their audience that are engaging with you and giving you constructive criticism and being vocal about like what you're doing with the game. Like Path of Exile is still in its beta form, but they're listening to you guys. They're doing stuff. They're keeping you in the know. Like we were on a party chat and something along the lines of them delaying some content because it just wasn't working. They could have very well just gone silent and say, we're moving it to this date and then ending it there. But them coming out and saying like, hey, this, and this isn't working. We need to work on it more. But when it is better, we'll let you know. That goes a long way. And I think there's a good subset of devs that just don't do that anymore. Even big companies. Sony's really bad about that as well. Sony doesn't say anything about anything unless they're getting super negative feedback. So I think at the very least, devs being engaged in constructive criticism with sane human beings would be nice to improve upon.
I think it's crazy that that's a commendable trait. I mean, it's a great trait to have, but like just the thought that, devs actively engaging with the, criticism they're getting. I feel like we've just, for a long time, I couldn't even tell you when I feel like it started, but just, it's crazy that we had an era essentially of devs like flipping the bird to the, to their fans, their audience and stuff. And it's like, that used to kind of be how you're supposed to do business. People like, hey, I don't like these things. These are things we're looking to change. I guess also on the flip side of that coin, people weren't going completely psychotic. I mean, I feel like the gaming community, while I'm all for a little bit of zeal, brother, I think going off the deep end every time something that you don't like happens is just as destructive as like not involving yourself actively. Like not involving yourself in the change that's the other side of that coin, where it's like you're not helping at all, because if you're just blindly consuming, it's you're essentially throwing money down that pit. But it's like you're turning around saying the absolute craziest, I couldn't even begin to tell you what is the craziest thing I've heard somebody said over say online over like a minor displeasure. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, seriously, what are we doing?
It works both ways. Like, if you're going to have devs be vocal about it, you need to also take into consideration that these are human beings making this thing that you're enjoying or want to enjoy more. So have that constructive dialogue back and forth, and don't threaten death upon a group of people or a person specifically just because they're engaging with you, you fucking crazy ass.
And I feel like that's almost a theme of people muddying the water with just dumb shit. Like of the things it's like, that is one of the biggest problems we got. It's like I commend devs that like bounced back, because I know they were getting some crazy shit. And I understand where somebody gets adversarial in that regard, where it's like, dude, really? Over this is what it's like. But one of the messed up parts is they fixed it all, and it's like, yeah, great, good for that guy, comeback story. But no one's ever like, is anybody going to apologize to this person? You're going to be like, hey, that was my bad, man. You made a mistake, and I didn't know that you're fixing it. Sorry, I threatened to burn down your house. Like,
dude, Path of Exile 2.
No accountability for yourself at all.
Oh no, of course not. Dude, Path of Exile 2, when the Druid DLC dropped, it was up, and then there were issues, and they had to take it down. Dude, it was down for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, right? Their Twitter page, Jordan was reading these messages to me, and he sent me one of them. Dude, the top one that people were, it's like, the top one is like, I've been a long time fan since blah, blah, blah. You've lost me completely grinding your games. I'm playing Diablo. This game is ridiculous. I can't believe I've been waiting this long, and this is just unacceptable, blah, 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 right? It has all these upvotes. I'm reading that like, shut up. You're about to log in 20 minutes when this goes live. Shut your mouth. Like,
it's the ego and the
Diablo.
Screen protection and just big dick energy that they don't have. It's like, take a chill pill. Like, this is especially with that type of game when it's not even a full release. Like, you're playing this to make it better in the long run. Like, don't be that guy. Like,
it's also a beta.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
it's not even out.
You can get angry at a full release because you spent money on it, sure. But there's a level where you need to cap it at. Like, if you're going to start spewing that type of stuff, just don't even hit send. Just keep it to yourself and move on. Play something else. It's okay.
And to top it off,
people you're going to hear say it's just a game, but lordy, sometimes, dude, it's just a game.
Yeah, it's like, fake.
Like you said, before you hit that send button, you're really looking at that bad boy, and it's like, wait, hold on a second. What's going? No, wait, hold on. I got it. My bad. Lost my damn mind.
And especially even with Path of Exile, dude, Path of Exile is, and I mean this in the best way possible. Like, I genuinely mean it as a compliment. Like, dude, those dudes have got to be on the spectrum there. That game is genius. It is genius. Like, the Druid added 100 passives. All these other skills, all this other stuff. It's like, dude, they don't just add a little bit. They're adding full-blown. They're adding games within the game, within the game, within the game. The amount of content you're getting every 3-4 months is an update is an entire RPG's worth of what you guys are willingly to spend $70 on, and not, oh, this is great. These dudes are dropping it for free. God forbid there's a 20-minute maintenance. Are you kidding me? Grow up. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. The last couple I have are a little... one of them is very personal. Better trophy integration. I feel like not even first-party studios utilize the full feature set of trophies, where it's like tracking. If you're making me do 10,000 tricks in Skate Story and you don't put a tracker on that in any form or fashion,
that's really...
I hate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That's a really, really good one.
I give props to
that. Is that a real number?
Yeah, that's one of the trophies.
Is it a real number?
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it. It was like 3 hours of just doing tricks over and over again and
whoa,
waiting for it to happen.
Dude, that trophy life is brutal. I when I
hate it.
can, I
That's
will.
very different.
There's some that I'm just like, dude, this is too rich for my blood.
Just put a podcast on and hit a kickflip over and over and over.
Yes. I give props to Xbox for kind of mandating that, where I think since the Xbox One days, they had that tracker integration with achievements, where if you're doing X number of things, it'll tell you how many you've done. And there are some games on PlayStation that do it, but it's not mandated. It's extra work, of course. So if you have to do extra work, no one's going to do it. But I feel like that would be something good for my little soul to enjoy. And one that the last one for me would be put patch notes like in the game, or at least on the menu. And by that I mean in the PS4 days, when a game updated, you could hit the options button and then go to like patch notes, or it was information or something, and it would tell you like what was changed.
That's actually really cool.
And they got rid of it in this. Like, I don't want to have to go to a website all the time to see what you changed in this 5 gig update. And just it's a text file. Put a text file on the icon that you're updating. Let me hit options. Let me go to information and then see update 2.7 and then tell me what you changed on the system itself. That'd be great. But no, I have to go to your website and search for it and see what it is. But it's little things like that that are going to pull me in next gen, whatever that means anymore. But yeah, make the game fun. Give me some cool features, some new tricks I haven't seen, like Pragmata, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Let's go to Adrian.
Yeah, you had some really good ones, but I think just a couple. They're really nothing like super. I mean, I guess some of these would be pretty big, but really just some like quality of life upgrades. So like improvements to just streaming, and by that I kind of harkens back to a conversation we had before. I would like them to get stream, and I'm, and I know it kind of came down to like internet speeds overall, but it would be nice to see streaming implemented in ways, like I said, on a TV, stuff like that. I would like to see that kind of make a resurgence, as just kind of a thing. It's like, I'll definitely still have a PlayStation. I'll have an account. Like, you have my money. Just let me play, in my bedroom and not have to buy a whole nother fucking PlayStation. Like that's I feel like that's a simple ask. This one, pretty big one, refund policies on consoles. There should absolutely be refund policies to some extent. I mean, it's just, I'm not expecting them to do it, but that's one of the best things you can do. Give me the option to say no. I don't want the little random games that you give me a 2-hour trials for. Like, no, I should be able to play whatever game. If I don't like it, take it back. It's digital. It's not like it's a physical game that I may have scuffed up, done anything to. It's like, yeah, once the wrapping comes off that game, it's a wrap. It's no longer new. That I get. But it's like, this is a digital license. There's absolutely no reason why you lose nothing by, well, you lose my money, but it's like it costs you no material cost to refund that money back to me if I'm dissatisfied with your product.
That's almost two-factor too, because specifically on the Sony side, like they would not only, I think it would be good to not only revamp the refund policy, but also integrate it into the system. That way you don't have to go through their chat support to do it. Because it'd be one thing to have them revamp the refund policy, and then you still have to go to their support chat to have it happen. If you just let me do it through the system, then you're cutting out the middlemen, and you can revoke the license right then and there.
Right. It's not like there's any room for fraud there, So it's like, even there's no money, like me refunding it on the console. There's no reason why I shouldn't be. You're right. It's like, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do that.
You'd have to be connected to the internet anyway to initiate that. So then you would just have the database check on the back end to see if you initiate a refund or not. That way you can't have people trying to game the system where they're like, I initiated a refund and then disconnected from the internet, and then I can still play my game. Like, no, you initiate the refund and then immediately the license is revoked, so you can't play it anyway.
Yeah. I kind of just thought of this when we were talking about like the trophy stuff. Dude, bring back rewards. No, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just like little avatar stuff to make me like, I don't know, just make it a little more fun to get the trophies. Just make it a little more rewarding. I know it's a stupid, silly thing, but I would like to be able to customize, have your own unique, like I feel like old Xbox 360 menus felt like you could customize yours really, really well. And I feel like that's kind of something that's been lost. It's like, let me unlock some cool little stuff. Have like a little, I don't know, xenomorph running around my screen or something. You know what I mean?
They did those PlayStation Star things and then recently closed that down. So maybe we'll have it with PS6. There'll be some new rewards thing. And they've... go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say, just to be cool to have like something, little avatar running around my widgets and stuff.
They kind of added themes to the PS5, but it's still limited by what they randomly upload and tell you.
Right. And this one is, I feel like, would be a huge quality of life upgrade. Optimized storage features on the systems. There's got to be a way. Obviously, I'd have to look way more into it, but there's got to be a way to optimize storage on that so people aren't having to download and delete games. Like, I don't know, like a compress, like actual compressing the files down, like on the system actively as you're saving it. So it's like maybe the most recent whatever video clips, recordings, whatever, those are loaded up, but everything else is compressed and then stored away. So when you want to open it, it'll decompress itself, but overall your system will have way more storage on it. Be able to store more games, just like active background stuff, because phones do stuff like that. If you haven't used an app in a while or whatever, it will, essentially, it won't delete itself, but essentially it'll just compress all its data down. And then when you click on it again, it takes a few seconds and it's recovered itself. So I feel like they could implement stuff like that just to make that you people not have to go through that all the time.
I think if you're specifically talking about screenshots and videos that you're recording yourself, I don't see why they couldn't just have like a online cloud service. They already push the most recent clips and screenshots that you take on your system to the app itself. Like, you can pull down 3-minute or less videos and screenshots that you take through the PlayStation app. So why don't you just have like a PlayStation app on like computers or a PlayStation Cloud type thing where those automatically get uploaded and then you can pull it down on your PC and you don't have to worry about it. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's your Google Drive does it with anything you send on there. It's if you click on there, it won't load immediately, but a couple seconds. So if you're telling me if I had a game on there and it compressed it down, or if it left all the extra media, because we do a lot of screenshotting, and that might not be useful for a lot of people, but it's like to have that all compressed, because I have no need to just scroll really fast through my media gallery. So it's like have all those automatically compressed and then have the games essentially, if you haven't played it in a while, just compress them down. That way, if I want to play it again, click it, 20 seconds, you can play it. I don't have to download it over again.
Wake up.
Figure it out, people. What is happening here? That's really it for me. I had wrote down like the implementation of like the AI in the enemies. I think that'd be really cool. That was what I was going to bring up before. the thought that I lost, and it came back to me. It's crazy to think of a future utilizing genuine AI, you know, in enemies and characters in games when some of the games that we've praised the highest, and it's gonna go back to the hypocrisy thing, but I'm not gonna get into that. I'm just saying it's all the games that people praise the most for their enemy intelligence really are just like puppets. Like the game code, they're behaving in a certain way that is by some degree preset. And it's crazy to think of, and we're like, oh my God, this is amazing triumph in making this thing seem like it's intelligent. What is it going to be like if it's actually intelligent? And it's like, I feel like I feel like when people are trying to put the torch to AI, this is one of those ideas that I think it's like you don't want this. You don't want an adaptive learning system in your game to like like I said, some of the games that get the most praise are the games with the most intelligent seeming marionette strings. It's all what if, what ifs, and they're following that. And it's super, when it's well done, like Fear or Alien, it's like almost indistinguishable. But what would it be like if it is completely indistinguishable? It is a whole different kind of experience. So I don't. I'm firmly on team AI on that subject. I think that's an amazing implementation.
Cool. Is that it for you?
That's it for me.
Cool. Brandyn?
Yeah, I have two. You guys covered a lot of stuff that I guess I wasn't really thinking about when I read that question. That was kind of cool to listen to. The two that came to my mind are AI as well and physics. I think had people just locked in on physics and AI instead of just going a whole generation where everything felt like it turned into like a play stage. It's like this is the set, and you can see the textures on his hair and the horse ball shrink and whatever. But like, so like for example, the little bit of Baldurs again I'm playing, you have options to just grab things out of the environment and use them as just improvised weapons, or
There's
dip your weapon into dipping your weapon into the poison that's on the floor, right? So having the environment be interactable, I think, environmental interaction, physics, and AI, those three things you lock in on is really what's going to take us into next gen and truly feel next gen. And in the sense of something like Prey, let's just say, right? It's not enough that I can, get up into the air ducts. What if that thing saw me? And normally, it's like, oh, they have their patterns. They go in circles. No, he sees that I'm in the air ducts now. Now he's going to chase me through the air ducts. And that type of, reaction.
There's no cheesing it. You can't. I guess you could exploit the AI somehow, but it's like you're not going to be able to just cheese the game and break it.
And it doesn't even necessarily got to be monsters or anything, because my mind goes to like Metal Gear Solid 5 or Last of Us 2, where I'm like, man, those feel like guys are really hunting me down. But like you're saying, they are programmed. The thought of being in a military-esque game like a Call of Duty or Battlefield, and they are really on, adapting to your situation and not just running out like monster closets.
Right.
And even just, I've always wanted games to kind of lean into, it's not that because most games are, you have all the advantage because you're the player. I'm not for certain just yet, but Baldur's Gate seems to be everybody's on the same playing field, that they can use everything that you're using as well to each other's advantage and disadvantage. Mm-hmm. Kind of like XCOM, I guess, to a degree.
Yeah.
Like just having that kind of integrated with physics and the AI, I think, and just like I was saying, like the environment being a part of it, that's been kind of maybe my biggest disappointment with the last 10 years of games, is they got so obsessed with making it look good that it started to feel hollow. It's I don't really feel like I can touch this stuff. Like it feels like I'm on a, Whereas
you're not interacting with the world actively.
Yeah, like
in a satisfying way at all. You're in a place. You're in a place, and it looks like this place, but nothing about my interaction with this place makes me feel like I'm here.
yeah, like I'll always go back to it. Dragon's Dogma. Shield bash a goblin, and you're near a wall. He'll really like bounce up against the wall, and then that counts as a stun, and then he falls this way and trips. It's any other game, you hit him and his head's half glitched through the wall. It's like, oh, all right, he's dead. It's like, oh, well, that it's something so minor that will go such a long way and be so memorable because of the level of interaction going on. Yeah, I guess if I could sum all that up, it's just make games feel like you can touch them again. they feel so. What's the meta? Get the numbers up, get the math equation correct. And it's like, that's fine, that's cool, but like, I feel like we're kind of losing sight of why we were doing this to begin with, or the PS4 to mid PS5 generation. It's
kind of lost what the essence of a game is, because now you're just watching a movie with some interactability. But yeah, what if we get to a point where like you kill an enemy that had ammo that you use, and instead of it just sitting there, the other enemy runs and grabs that ammo, so you don't have it. Stuff like little things like that, where just like common sense type stuff that you'd expect another thing to do that you would have done, I think is where potentially AI could benefit.
Yeah, imagine what that does to a game like The Witcher. That changes the whole thing completely and entirely, where or something like Shadow of War, where you kill the alpha orc or whatever, and the rest of them are like maybe we leave, whereas most games are, oh, we're next now. It's just
Witcher could be cool with that too, where like you kill an enemy and then one of the enemy's friends or something sends like a letter to another enemy, and you could potentially intercept that letter that wasn't scripted at all and stop it from happening. Or it gets to the other enemy and they learn what you did and then learn how you did it, and then you were going to use the tricks to take that enemy out, and now you can't because they know and counter it. Like stuff like that is interesting and off the script. That would be something cool to eventually get to.
How do you even program some of those creatures, though? That like it's like you wouldn't be able to like a I don't know, like some kind of beast. It's like, what do you? Let's tell it to act like a monkey and a wolf, and then see what it figures out for itself when it comes to AI. You know what I mean? If you're leaving that up to AI, it's like, what would a bear eagle do? It's like, I don't know. I want to see what that is. I want to see what that thing comes up with.
Probably because you got to like, I don't know, what is it? It's prompt engineering or something, like specifically how you speak to it. So if you were like, it on all fours moves with the cadence of a cat, but when it stands up on twos, it moves like a bear, but then it, spreads its wings like a specific eagle. You just, I guess.
But I mean, even programming behaviors in that. Like programming what it's going to do, how it would behave. And it's like, I just think it's interesting to kind of wind that up and see where that even goes. Like,
I guess the route I was going with is, what if one enemy, its weakness was its legs, for example, and you took it out via legs and then killed it. And then another enemy down the line learned that's how you did it. So they put armor on their legs, or they make it so you can't attack their legs whatsoever. And you're like, wow, how did you have no relation to this creature that I killed 4 hours ago. How do you know about this? And then it's like, oh, well, I got word from X, Y, and Z that you killed this creature, and clearly you went for their legs. You're not doing it this time, bro. Stuff like that.
And it's not, I really don't, and it's not even that out of the realm of possibility, because Metal Gear Solid 5 has something like that. If you're sniping people in the head, they'll start wearing helmets to where it takes 2 shots. So then they're revealed. Baldur's Gate or any RPG, it's like, oh, you did the thing, so now someone's reacting. Or like Shadow of War had that, where it's like Blood Brothers. Oh, you killed my brother with fire, so now I'm, whatever. Having that kind of stuff, it's just, I get that it's difficult, obviously, but it just surprises me that the industry as a whole is just scared to do it. Because there's like a handful of examples, which is why we bring up the same games that stand out above everybody else. I'm not a game developer, but I would just imagine if I was to get into game development, it's like, dog, we have no other choice. We have to make something like this. Like we have to, right there. What do I like? Not about to
uniqueness, stuff like that.
Yeah, Weird West is fantastic with that, dude. Weird West, oh my god, it's so silly. She was dying, like my health was low, and you can heal by eating or drinking water. And I went into a house, and because I'm just like trying stuff out, and I'm like, okay, I have a bucket. There was apples in it, and I accidentally picked the bucket up. So I'm like running around with this bucket, not just like, I don't know, I'm not dropping it. And then I'm looking, I'm like, there's a well over there. And I sat it down, or not a well, or yeah, where you like, turn it. Yeah, okay. And I was just like, dude, let me see if I can do this. And I positioned it right under there and started pressing it to come out, and it filled the bucket up.
Really?
I'm like, so cool. They never tell you about it. Figure that out. And it's just the physics and everything are just kind of interacting with each other. You're not going to do that in, not that I want to fill up buckets in God of War or something, but what do you mean I can't hit him into the wall? Oh, right. He glitched through the wall. That's unacceptable to me.
It's in the same it's in the same vein of like, you can't go through this doorway, but there's only a milk carton in the way. Like, why can't you just step over it? Like, just the common sense type stuff. I hope we can eventually get away from in some form or fashion, where it's just like, no, you can hop this shin high fence and keep going. Like, why would this stop me? I'm killing demons. Yeah. Lift your leg up and get over it.
Or like, I played like the older Call of Duties. It's like there's sometimes where guys will like slam doors and not open them again, and you just can't go in the door. And it's like super ridiculously immersion breaking. It's like, dude, I've been laying waste to everybody with a shotgun, and you're telling me this dude closed the same door that we just breached one of them like 2 minutes ago.
Breach it again.
This one is not going to happen. It's like that door shouldn't even exist. He tried to close the door while like 4 dudes are letting it rip on him. Like, the door should be pieces. Everything it should, stuff like that. It's like it's such a silly immersion breaking thing.
It almost seems like, hopefully, if we ever get there, that which granted, terrible name for a genre, but the immersive sims are just what it ultimately should be moving towards. Like, they're usually contained, like Prey or Deus Ex or something like that. But if you could get that, I think that's why I'm like kind of like obsessed with Weird West, because you broke the mold a little bit. You went into something bigger, not just one contained area. It's that applied to I don't want to say open world, but like it's kind of an open world. And that's incredible. And it just went, right by. No one really paid attention. So it's just reinforcing like, oh, people don't care about physics and interaction and all that. It's like, like,
yeah, more player agency and freedom is something that I think a lot of games could benefit from.
Yeah. And doubling down once again on environmental interaction.
Man. Well, I feel like agency in that goes so hand in hand though, because it's like, don't give me agency if you're not going to give me something to interact with. Like, if you're not going to give me somewhere where I'd want to be free in, if it's nothing but barren, soulless landscape, it's like, dude, just make it linear so I could be done with it. Like, don't make me run around this desolate nothing hole and do nothing. It's like, yeah,
that's all that stuff is what is kind of got me really interested in Baldur's Gate. Is it seems to be hitting all those things where I'm like,
oh, that game is very, very well done. It's pretty much anywhere you go, there's going to be something, and if the world feels alive for it.
So much interaction, like just even with just the weird stuff. And some of the things I've seen people do just by accident are like, that's cool. That is you're on that Path of Exile spectrum level. Like, this is genius. This is really how many toothpicks are in the box still, kind of thing. Like,
they put that game together incredibly well. I have it. I bought it on the computer, but I mean, if you're gonna play it, I might even buy that thing on the PlayStation because that game is fun as hell.
I'll play it with you, and then we just gotta pressure Vaughn slowly but surely.
I mean,
you can try.
I can't say it. You can try.
Your words mean nothing to me.
Maybe a good one to watch.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We don't have to 2-man it either. Like me and Stretch did. We send everybody back. We don't have to send everybody back to camp if you don't want. Unless you want to 2-man it. The campaign for Baldur's Gate. Like if we play the campaign, it's like we don't have to 2-man the campaign. You can play. Like, how big can the party go in that game? I don't even know.
I have no clue.
Well, you can't bring them all, but you can have a bunch of people.
I'm about to have a gang of psychopaths in that.
Oh, dude. Great. You're gonna get your money's worth if you're out there to do. I mean, really, if you're out there to do anything, if you want to do something absolutely heinous, it's like have a ball. Why not? Go ahead. Let it rip on them.
I'm interested to see if it'll like. Because you're saying people are reacting to you killing people and blah, blah, blah. Like, I want to see if I can just establish a reputation of like, you better be on your P's and Q's saying please and thank you and everything around that dude because he's unhinged. That dude is not playing. You better be good.
See, and that's like, I wouldn't even know because there's, especially if you pick the urge, that's like a story built within that story. Like that's its own whole actual story involving and rolling around that. So it's like I didn't use that. It's like I'm seeing stuff that Matt's seeing for the first time ever because it's just not. If you do not pick that class, that background, you just do not see that stuff at all. It's just not even an element of the game, and it's a huge part of like it's a whole ass story in itself. But
yeah, my brother's really into Baldur's Gate, and he kind of recommended. He was like, you should start with the Urge or the Dark Urge, just because it's so central to the story, and it'll kind of like put you really in the middle of stuff.
Played over 100 hours in that game, knew nothing about it, still had a ball.
So cool.
I'm not saying it in a bad way. It's just one of those things. Like I couldn't possibly tell you what your experience is going to be like because there's so many different options to choose from.
Yeah,
you could do whatever. There's so much stuff I have no clue about that game. I purposely didn't look into stuff. I was like, I want to play this game again, and I want to be surprised.
Yeah, and because you can do like a little introduction or do like a little cutscene of like what that character is, and I was just thoroughly interested in him. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. This is kind of what I wanted to do anyway. Was this kind of vibe? That is so interesting that it's such a core part of the story, but you didn't see any of it. Like that's nuts.
None of it. Had no clue what any of it was. Like I said, over 100 hours on the initial playthrough, and because we did everything. He's like I am. It's like, dude, I'm gonna go into every crack and corner of this place and open every box, look at everything, just fully immerse myself in there. So we were doing all kinds. We did like heists and capers, and not even game related, like not even story related. It's like, I want to go steal. Like this was even the good characters. It's like, you want to go steal some shit? It's like, yeah, let me turn invisible. Like teleport me. I'll teleport in there, and then you turn me invisible. I'll steal everything off the shelf, and then we'll sell it back to them because we need money.
Yeah, I gotta think up how my character thinks because he's just basically the Punisher right now. I don't know what his day-to-day is when he's not punishing. It's gonna be fun.
I guess we were more chaotic good. We were just a couple of rapscallions out there to save the day.
Alrighty. Any other bring-ups for that topic? No. You pretty much covered it as a whole.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, That's another case in the books, gents. As always, check out those socials. It's on the screen. Follow, like, share. Definitely, if you have any topics that have been rolling around in your head you want us to discuss, shoot it to us anywhere, any social. We watch and read all of them. So we'll pull it into the next episode.
Oh, yeah.
And also, if you disagree with anything, let's talk. I think those are some of the more fun ones too. You know?
I hate opinions.
Yeah. If you disagree with me, never speak to me.
We almost encourage any opposing viewpoints.
Yeah, it's a discourse.
Yeah, put a different outlook on our thoughts. So,
yeah. And to the guy who thinks I'm not playing Hunt Showdown, hold on, let's play. Your game of choice. Let's play. Ramos Rule 2012. No.
No, it's different.
Portability Rex. Yeah, it's Portability Rex. Portability Rex, baby. Let's play.
Eventually we'll get to a Discord and we can kind of have a community there, but we want to gather as many people as possible before we start that up. So help us get there. Share. Tell everyone. Tell your grandma. Specifically your grandma.
Just leave it on in the background on replay.
Specifically your grandma.
Put us on at your old folks' home. Just put it in the background.
Make a playlist and then just run it. They don't know. They don't care.
They'll think it's God talking in the background. That's the ultimate goal.
This was that smooth.
Alrighty. Well, it's been Vaughn,
Brandyn,
and Adrian.
We'll see you next time. Goodbye. It'll pop up on the screen in editing. So.
I was like, I don't know if it's getting queued.
I was like, I don't know which number that was.
Thank you all for being silent while I can know where it's at in the timeline.
Little drum roll into it.